Hello there, ladies, gentlemen and unicorns. Welcome to this other stream of me. It is at a different time than usual, but I thought it would be nice for anyone not living in my time zone. So if you're watching this from Middle Europe, Central Europe, as I'm streaming from, what are you doing? Get to bed. It's now 1 a.m. in the morning and I'll just be streaming for a couple of hours, I think so. If not, or if you're watching this on the VOD, thank you so much for dropping by or dropping in if you're watching this live. And yes, the reason, Lady Miss Leaf says this is coming from you. Yes, I mean, it's easy for me to judge because I don't feel like affected by my own words. So I think this is a good start to become some sort of cultist preacher. Is preach something and of course exempt yourself from it, because there are different standards. Yeah, and on the topic of evangelizing about programming and game making, well, today it is another one of those streams where I'll continue working with the Game Maker language on my little puzzle game that I started in Game Maker. And again, I'm just doing the prototyping there, the intense, labor-intense work that involves a lot of iterations. And when I feel that the concept or the game itself, the core is fun and is actually working, then my plan is at least to transition over to Unity and start from scratch with everything that I know that needs to be done. Because right now everything is open, everything is game, literally. Everything is game right now. With my game. So at this point, I'm just trying to make the game as fun as possible, the core mechanics really there, and then see where things are going. So this is wonderful that I have one viewer. It's 1 a.m. Why are you here? Yeah, this is probably what I would guess that you dear people in the chat, or at least it's 6 viewers now. So people have been flocking to me, and who could blame them? I'm the only channel in my time zone probably right now. well, not just the only one, but I would assume there aren't as many people streaming in my time zone during the night. So again, it is a good way for me to see more of my wife, because since we're both working more or less full time, it's nice to have 2 days where we can actually see each other. And this was the reason for me to push my streaming date a little back, because my wife always tried to stay up. And of course, it was not very helpful when she needed to get up early on Monday when I was streaming into the wee hours of the night. So I thought, yeah, let's just have a nice evening together, and then I come back and talk to my internet friends and do some programming. And it's Rith410 says, hey, I'm glad I could catch a stream. Yeah, it's so nice that you made it here, because without any viewers I would feel very weird, and it would feel very awkward just streaming into the nothingness of the void. This is essentially why I've given up blogging, because nobody would read it, not even my mom. Fun fact, when my mom said, she's in her 70s, and my mom said, I found a funny article and I was going to send it to you, and I didn't get an email that day, and I thought, yeah, probably she forgot. And a couple of days later, I received an envelope, a letter, and I opened it up, and it was a snippet of a funny article my mom found that she said she sent it to me. So yeah, it's don't feel that old now when people are doing this. And yeah, Lady Miss Liv says, it also allows me to play games in the afternoon and watch your stream after he goes to bed, lol. Yeah, it's nice when things work out in terms of scheduling. And I'm also planning to do maybe the one or other stream during the week around the same time of day, because then I get home from work, so it will be probably a little bit later, maybe 20 minutes from now, just on Wednesday. Probably will be your Wednesday when it is my Thursday. Never mind, you will see it in the schedule updated to your time zone, so we should be good. And the automated unicorn just sparkled up some random words, because that's what it likes to do. Play games with the hubby until he goes to bed. Yeah, now this makes sense. Yeah, and I just may not stay up the whole thing, as it is currently 8 p.m. here. So a nice evening stream for you then, and for other 5 viewers who are there. Right, automated unicorn deletes some comments in your code. It finds it out. No, automated unicorn, we're not even programming, and it already started messing up my code. So this is why you don't work with children or unicorns, especially not unicorns. Okay, so Before I go off on so many tangents, let's not do that, and let's instead review the current state of the game, where I am now, what I got to work in the meantime since the latest stream, and yeah, where things are headed, essentially. Anything past 10 p.m. depends on how far behind I am in my sleep, says Lady Miss Sleep. So it's interesting. So for you'd go to sleep depending on how much you can afford the next day, or when you need to catch up on sleep. Because with me, at least in college, it always was, I go to bed when I'm sleepy and I get up earlier or later, depending on how I am on my cycle. So the bottom line is I haven't figured things out. So this is why sometimes I'm getting very little sleep and sometimes I'm getting a lot sleep, but I feel it's still something. Getting a good night's sleep is something that's been eluding me for years. So Hex Game 7 is the current prototype that we're having now, or that I'm having now, and I hope you can see this because everything is quite scaled up here. You know what, let's start with an empty workspace, because I think this is much easier to follow if you want to follow. I went to bed at 1:30 a.m. the other night, catching up with a friend in another time zone, hence way behind my sleep. So my wife once said that my voice is very calming and very soothing. So I hope it helps you fall asleep as well. The funny thing is about my voice that's calming and soothing is I thought that she was just being nice to me, but when I was editing voiceovers I did for a game, not my game. I was asked to do some voiceovers, and it was a very nice distraction, and the people were super happy, and so I'm super happy. Anyway, so I was editing like half an hour of voice recording, and I was leaning back in my chair and I dozed off just editing voice, essentially, where I take out the little smacks and mouth noises and denoise and so on, and just somewhere in between there I just fell asleep for a second or two and noticed that I made a huge selection with my mouse cursor because I fell asleep with the mouse button pressed. And I mean, it's funny if it happens once, but it happened like twice at least. I'm not quite sure whether 3 times where I really fell asleep for a second or two, but the point is I even put myself to sleep, so I hope my voice is as soothing as a warm glass of milk in the evening. Oh, so you're open to doing voiceovers. Good to know. Yes, I am, in case you need a voiceover with a slight German accent and probably less mouth noise. And Ruth says, it's 12:12 here, lol, definitely not sleeping soon. So which 12 it is? So I would assume noon, midday 12. Have you considered a Korean ASMR? Well, I might. No, I have not, but like I said, I like doing funny voices and voiceovers and doing my best what I can to make things sound funny, because like I said, I like this voice recording stuff, and I was this close to starting to try to start a demo reel of voice recordings, but And VR Lab is here. Hello, Phil. Hello, VR Lab. What time zone is it for you? I hope it's not too uncomfortable. And even if it is, thank you so much for dropping by still. This is very much appreciated. If I ask for some voiceovers, it will be in German with your help. Yeah, of course, I can also do German voiceovers. And it's 1:14 a.m. says VR Lab. So we're in the same time zone, and I'm really sorry to put you through this. But again, I really appreciate it that you make some time at this weird time of day or of night to follow this stream. Okay, right. In this game, I don't need voiceovers, at least not at this point. But then again, I would enjoy to have, since it's a turn-based puzzle game, I would like to say something like divine when you make a nice combo. Yeah, this probably wouldn't work. So, okay, first let me show you the game as it currently stands. So this is just the first level. Essentially, it's just mainly for debugging. But yeah, essentially, the goal of the game is to uncover all the T's. Those are the treasures, without avoiding the B's, the bombs. And the aqua, the blue one, colored tiles are clues, and this clue just tells you how many T's and how many B's are among its neighbors. So you need to use those clues to find out which tiles you want to open and which not. You can also spend treasure for clues. This is what I implemented last time, and it didn't work because I didn't assign a sprite to this, so this was why the collision mask was not working. And again, currently the game is you got a set amount of HP, of essentially of tries, of mistakes you can make per level. Those are fixed. Those won't, at least at this stage of prototyping, you won't be able to add new HP. Essentially, it's just how many errors can you really make. And so it's much easier to just buy some clues with treasure. And when a level starts here, as in this case, it starts you out with some clues. In this case, we were kind of lucky because those 4 means and no blue numbers, there are no bombs among its neighbors. So it's just clicking open, and you also can see that it updates the clue itself. So, and I was thinking last time I want to award the player points because right now it's a scoring game, it's a high score game, so I want to award players points for tiles they haven't opened. So it's not just clicking open everything here when there is nothing, when there are no bombs, but of course you want to avoid those empty clicks essentially costing you points along the line. But right now you can see here we get a treasure of 10, and I can exchange 1, 2, 3 treasure for clues, and I can just set with a middle click I can just plop a clue anywhere on the field. Rather Jolly also joined and said headshot, double kill, multi-kill. I need to pitch my voice down for this. Lady Sleep, you know what's up? Yeah, oh, it's multi-kill. Wasn't this Quake or Quake Arena? Okay, Phil, you lost me at the start of your explanation. And what are you missing? Says Lady Sleep, apparently to VRG Lab. I think it might become self-explanatory. So again, those blue tiles that I can spend, you can see here clue tiles. Now I've maxed them all out, so I need to uncover some tiles. And again, I want to avoid this bomb here. So among its neighbors here is 1 bomb of this tile. By the way, when you hover over a clue, it highlights the neighbors in yellow, and if you hover over a tile that you uncovered, it hovers, or it highlights those clues that are which are surrounding it essentially. So here we know there is 1 bomb among those 3 tiles or 4 tiles, and we've uncovered 3, so there is just 1 left, and you can right click it, and now it's locked so that you don't accidentally click it. But you can also, if you right click again, it just toggles through these states, so you can say it's also locked, but you can say there is probably a bomb underneath there, and if you correctly flag a bomb, you also get points. At least this is how I envision the game. So there are 1, 2, 3, and there is just also 1 bomb here, so I can say maybe there is a bomb on either of those, but I'm not quite sure. So maybe if I plant, I need to buy more clues with treasures, let's say 1, 2, so I plop here, and I have here, okay, there are 2 blue, 2 bombs, and 2 treasures here, so I'm not quite sure where they are, but I get some more clues, so maybe I spent 1 here, and yeah, this was a bomb, so I lost 1 HP. And everything really says VRT Lab, and I might have missed it, but are the bombs randomly placed, says Rith. Yes, bombs and treasure, currently they are just randomly placed, and whenever I reset the level, they reset where the bombs are. It's what stays, or what remains, is the number of clues that you get at the start of a level, the number of bombs that there are, and the number of treasures, but they get shuffled around. And maybe I thought that I add an option, at least for tutorial levels, where I can also hand author playing fields, really to teach players the mechanics in a playful way without having like this, and where it would say, yeah, click here, now right click here, and you've understood the rules, great, here's a big playing field for you. So so you know what, I will try to explain my rules again for those who are new to this stream. Thank you so much for dropping by. And also again, for those if you haven't quite gotten it, for me it's also good, because if the more often I try to explain my rules, the more clearer they get for me as well. So it's a bit like rubber duck coding. Okay, so again, you can see here, this is the playing field. It's made up of hexagons, and there are 2 different kinds of tiles. One sort of tile, those are the blue ones, those are clue tiles, which tell you about what's happening among its neighbors. The blue number means the blues are bombs, bombs that are among its 6 neighbors, and the orange values are the number of treasures. The goal is to uncover all the treasures of a board and not stepping on any bombs. And ideally, you also uncover only those tiles, so empty tiles don't give you points, but if you uncovered only the treasure tiles and so on, you should get more points. You got a number of HP when you start a level. You step on a bomb, you lose 1 HP, lose all your HP, the level is essentially over. And you can place clues yourself with a middle click. The level starts you out in this case with 2 clue tiles that you can place anywhere you want. You can even place them over bombs or over treasure, and it gets of course reduced in the level. So this might be a viable strategy to just place a clue over a bomb when you're not sure. But if you run out of clues to place, you can exchange treasure for clues that you can place then. But again, since you want to get a certain amount of score, or the highest score there is, of course you want to avoid, at least this is currently the design, I want players to as it's the last resort for them to just buy clues for treasure, because maybe amp up the exchange rate or something. But then again, of course, it's a balance act. So, Lady Misleaf says, your HP does not regenerate when you reset the board. Yes, it does. The thing is, this level starts you out with 7 HP, and when you beat the first level, if I recompile this again, and if you beat it, you get a certain amount of reward. Right now I have 6 HP, and now the game says, level clear, have 3 HP, so this is just something, and now it carries over. This was just something that I had, and when I restart this level with a space, because this is for debugging purposes, just space to restart, then it stays at what's actually in there for this level. So you can see there are a lot of different carcasses in terms of design and rules going on. But yeah, my goal right now is just to really play a lot of boards and see where there is fun, and just think about the implications of some rule changes there are. Okay, yeah, you're welcome, Lady Misleaf. Right, and the other thing that I also realized that is super helpful is when I hold down the tab key, I get here for, this was not good, there we go. When I hold down the tab key, you can see here it really shows me just the index numbers in the array of all the tiles, and this one here just tells me the neighbors. So 49 is here, 38 is here, 28 is here, so everything works correctly. Because I had some problems here with finding the neighbors of the hexagons, which works fine for every other tile, and on if it's on a row that is even, and so on. So it took me quite a while to get my head wrapped around this hexagon thing, but I've coded up now a relatively solid algorithm, at least here in GameMaker, especially for those edge cases when you place one here at the very beginning and so on, because with arrays you don't want to overshoot or undershoot because it's a crash bug, right? But yeah, I got all those things worked out, and so this essentially is really what helped me a lot. This debugging mode helped me a lot with that. Riff says, have you got plans for visuals, theme for what you want it to look like? At this point, no. Because my problem is, regular viewers will know this, that my biggest shortcoming is premature polish, where usually I would have the barest gameplay quotes there is and start polishing the crap out of it and making nice bouncy animations and sounds and physics and sparkles and so on. So I really, with this one, I really want first to have this sort of treasure bombs and no theme whatsoever yet. But of course, once the game itself, the core mechanics are there, where I think, yeah, this might be fun, then I could think of theming and visuals and so on. So it's not going to be a super realistic in terms of visuals. I think what I want to do is have it pretty close to the look of my other game that's on Steam, Minesweeper, because Minesweeper, let me quickly show you. I haven't played this in a while. Minesweeper is also made with GameMaker, and it has a, yeah, this is the old logo. Sorry. Oh yeah, Happy International Women's Day. Right, my game just shows you different oh, I don't have any music in the background, never mind. But on certain special dates, Minesweeper updates its graphics or its title screen. So yeah, anyway, so the game essentially I wanted probably to look something like this, but yeah, I'm not quite sure with the theme, because I mean it would also be nice if it would look completely different, maybe have some sort of like those colorful mobile games or something utterly weird, but again, I just wanted to have some nice feel to it that's not too threatening or not too gritty or realistic, because in the end it's just a fun puzzle game. So yeah, I think this is what I want to go for, especially because I think I could make this the sequel to Minesweeper, so this would be nice. So yeah, very, very long explanation. And VRG Lab says, how has been your day? If this was directed at me, I say thank you for asking, and it was very relaxing. Yesterday was horrible because I got, as they say, I stood up with the wrong foot, as the saying goes here. So I was just completely exhausted and wasted through the entire day. And in the evening, when I tried to get some JavaScript thingy done, I developed a headache and really had to go to bed and couldn't sleep. So long story short, today was better. I just relaxed, read some nice book. Where do I have it? I don't have it here. Which a friend of the show, Frank, sent me for Christmas. So it's a book with interviews with game developers, and had some coffee. And apart from that, I just binged Netflix with my wife, and now I'm here. Oh yeah, and of course I did some programming on the pop quiz in the beginning, or on the intermission, because I really wanted this to be some a nice experience for those people who are waiting for the stream to begin, that there's something interesting happening apart from just having this timer. That's great to hear, says VRG Lab, that your day has been going good. So I hope your day was also well. I mean, it's a Sunday. I mean, of course, yeah, we're still in a pandemic, but yeah, in the end, it's just making the most out of it. And Rather Jolly says, thanks for the unicorns. I'm happy today was much better, Phil. Yeah, thank you so much. It makes me happy that you are happy that I had a nice day. So cheers to you. By the way, whenever I say unicorn, at least that's the plan. Let me try here in the chat. Maybe the unicorn will even react when I say unicorn. Yes, let's all have a sip of water. Try not to bump your teeth with the glass. And thanks for feeding the unicorn. I really should log all the commands that people have been trying that my unicorn did not understand in the Twitch chat. So yeah, there might be something for a later date to work on. Right, cheers, Rather Jolly. Cool. Okay, so again, I'm really just trying to play the game here right now. It's what I haven't implemented is points for empty tiles, and also you probably have noticed that when you step on a bomb, your score gets a hit immediately, but if you uncover treasure, it doesn't get measured, or at least not counted to the score, because I want to retain that the player is able to have treasures that they can exchange for clues. Maybe I want even to give players a score for clues they haven't used, but not as much as for 2 treasure. Otherwise, you could just always exchange your treasure for the highest score. So there is a lot of this kind of meta design going on. Essentially, it's really, with this I realized that it's really a fine line on where you want certain benefits for the player, so that you essentially just guide them towards a certain play style that you want. And even like I said, even if you open something and you don't get points for it, so you want to maximize your score by essentially clues that aren't uncovered. And harkening back to what Ruth said before about the theme, depends on the theme what the metaphor will be. So I joke that it's kittens versus bunnies, and you only want to uncover the bunnies because the kittens will scratch you. This could also work as a metaphor. Or maybe it's you want to mine the gold but avoid the, I don't know, explosive buds that are hidden, and if you don't uncover or don't mine a field, it also gets you points or something. So like I said, first comes the game design, then the metaphor and the setting, but I really want to make this as straightforward as possible, where it's not like in some strategy games that are set in the future, where it's like those city builders, where you as a player you can't really follow the inner logic without having to learn it. For example, Okay, I'm going off on a tangent right now, but in when you have those building games and that are set in medieval times, and of course you need trees, and then you need someone to chop those trees, and out of those trees you can make planks from which you can make houses, and this is completely understandable. But with games that are set in the future or sci-fi games, you got this extractor and you need a refinery for that, and then it makes polycarbonate, which you need for this certain type of building, and it's not very clear. It's something that you have to learn. And again, with this metaphor, with this game, again, I really wanted, like I have it now with treasure and bombs, it's pretty clear that you want to avoid bombs and you want to collect treasure. So yeah. And thanks for the explanation on the visuals. Yeah, you're very welcome. And sleepiness intensifies. Oh, we are G-Lab. Oh my god. So like I said, I really appreciate it that you dropped by, but really you don't have to put yourself through my weird streaming schedule. You can always watch the VOD when I'm done, or the day thereafter probably. But again, really appreciate it. So no hard feelings if you think you can't take this anymore and you just doze off and vanish without saying goodbye. I'm not mad. I'm just saying I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. There, I got it with no spelling mistakes. Beautiful. Yeah, right. So in this level, I'm not quite sure how many bombs or how many treasures I have, because right now what I always try to do is something. I mean, for one thing is, how I intend the game to be played. But if I just go like this and try to click everything open without essentially using any sort of clues, you would think, what is so special or so interesting about this game? Because you can almost beat it with just brute force. And this is, as a designer, I don't want my game to be played just by brute force. At the same vein, I don't want my game to be that unforgiving or that closely tuned to the mechanics that you essentially have to min-max everything, otherwise you wouldn't get anywhere. Some older games, I don't know which one, but some of those JRPGs, there was this one series, I don't know which one, that was essentially you couldn't play it in a casual mode. You really had to learn from your mistakes and then do a new run and optimize your build. So essentially it was not that much of an RPG game. It was more like a puzzle game where you had to figure out by continuously playing the game the one solution that allowed you to beat it. And this is something that I don't want. I want players to be rewarded when they are clever, but I don't want them to be overly punished if they feel that a strategy that they can don't find a certain strategy to be fun for them as players. Could you have some number of clicks, or is that too min-maxy? Yeah, the number of clicks, I mean, in the end, essentially you would click every field once, and those that you don't click because you don't click something twice or three times or just a half time or half a time, I think I wouldn't need those number of clicks, because I can always score the tiles that haven't been turned as a score, because essentially this tells me how good a player was in really sussing out where a bomb was or not. And again, like with this flagging mechanic that I have now, so those stripes means just it's locked for you, but you don't get any score. It's very weird, I realize. And with this B question mark where you flag it, okay, there is a bomb, and when you're right, you get points for this, and when you're wrong, you get a points deduction for this, maybe. So again, it incentivizes you, okay, so for example, different levels of players. So if I'm just new at this game, or relatively new, I would just go for just the treasure and would essentially ignore as much as I can the bombs. But for players who are already experienced, and for those who don't, for it's not just rewarding to find the treasure, not rewarding enough to find just the treasure. There's also this thing, I mean, it's treasure or bombs. So if you can show me where the bombs are, you get some extra score, because it's a field that you don't open, but you tell the game essentially that you know what is hidden there. So again, I want to reward players for being clever. VRGLab says, Phil, have a nice stream, and when you go to sleep, have sweet dreams. Good night and goodbye. Yeah, thank you so much, and you too. And again, it's really appreciated that you partook on my stream at 1:30 in the morning. And Rith says, oh, I meant like you can only do the level with 10 non-treasure tiles clicked on. Oh, okay. So you mean all those misclicks essentially just count to something that's big. Essentially, it's just everything there is not treasure is a bomb, for example. So this would essentially be the same thing, I think. Okay, this is interesting because right now I have 3 different sorts of tiles. Tiles that punish you, the bombs, tiles that reward you, the treasure, and tiles that don't do anything or essentially reward you in the long run if you don't click them open, but otherwise don't do something for you. If I only have tiles that are either rewarding or either punishing, I could up the ante maybe. Rith says, yeah, that's kind of true. They would just be bombs. So yeah, to me it's super interesting finding out about all these the craft of game design, about the repercussions, or how something pans out in the long run. So if it's just thinking through your decisions. So my question is how to make the game essentially fun, or hopefully even more fun. Yes, that's a hard mode. I mean, for hard mode we could say the game is, the floor is lava, so everything is just it's just a couple of bombs. You get more clues, but essentially everything is bombs and treasure. So you know what, we could try this. Let us try this. Let's make a level that's just bombs and treasure. So it's a lot harder, right? Okay, so where do we do this? In the objects, I got 3 controller objects. One is initialization, which just initializes everything. One is the game board, where it manages the tile board, but the game keeps track of how many resources you have and so on and so forth. So I think here in the board, I mean, this is just prototyping stuff, so it's not as well documented or structured, and there's a lot of stuff that's commented out. But distribute bombs and treasure. So essentially what I could do is, how does this work? So count equals greater than 0 and balance greater than 0. I random bomb, type null, occupant none. So one thing that I could do instead of smartly placing bombs and treasures, essentially it just right now as it is, it just picks a random entry in the array and sees or looks if there is already a bomb or a treasure, and if not, then it posts or hides a bomb or a treasure there. And Lady Miscliff said, the main concern for me would be that you were hoping it would not be a redo of Minesweeper. The empty tiles gives you leeway and another goal to strive for, additional points. But if it is a continuation of Minesweeper, it's all good. Yeah, I mean, it's a fine line where I want it in one sense to be like Minesweeper, like Finesweeper, but give it something more, a new aspect that's super interesting to it. And with super interesting, those words are doing some heavy lifting here. By the way, recently I learned that there is a game called, it's not called Belch, it's called Super Hexagon. And essentially it's just Minesweeper with hexes. And it was on Steam even before my Minesweeper, my Finesweeper game. I realized that even once or twice it came up in the comments or in the reviews to my game. And I have never really looked at it, and I've seen it now. Let me show you. Was it Super Hexagon? Hex Cells. It wasn't Super Hexagon. Hex Cells. That's the name. There is Steam. Hex Cells. And Hex Cells Infinite. And look at this. Look at this. This looks so much what I have now. So black right click and blue left click, and a number of cells tells you how many adjacent cells are blue. And look at this. It looks quite like the game that I realized that I've been making, and the presentation is super slick, and I like this way of how it's presented, how the boards are laid out. So essentially it's yeah, it's a bit like, I think, what I'm doing now. And my only thing that I do different, my twist, is that you have two types of resources: one that you want to harvest and others you don't want to harvest. So maybe there might be something more to it. Maybe this bomb flagging tagged on top that I have right now with this right click, maybe this would be a bit too much in terms of complexity then, but again, I need to try it out. Lady Mistleaf says, but if it is a continuation, I've just read this out. I'm really sorry. Maybe I should have the chat just permanently stick there on where I'm talking now on my little portrait thumbnail there, because it fades out after 30 seconds. And as you've seen, once I get to address the chat, the original comment has already vanished. Right, what did I wanted to do? Usually if you're prototyping and you're not quite sure whether something is making sense or making things better or not, usually it's the problem that you're just doing incremental changes, very slight changes on something. And a good rule of thumb is, I don't know where I've read this, but it is not what I came up with, is to either double or half an entire value and just play around with that. Or some even say just multiply it by 10. So for example, if you're testing a shooter and you're not quite sure if the player character is too slow, multiply this moving speed by 10 and then dial back until it's still fun but not as slow as before. Or maybe the bullet spread, or how many bullets you shoot with one hit. So yeah, like I said, those kind of variables that are easily tweakable. And for this game, I don't know what I could be tweaking, aside from really trying to make the bombs very sparsely distributed on the playing field or very high. And you know what? Let's try a very high bomb distribution for the first room. So this is how initially the bombs or the treasure gets distributed. But since this happens with every new level, after this same algorithm there, and the levels themselves are stored there in the game control. So depending, there's a huge switch statement just the first time that you're in game. This is a state machine. And so because I'm only doing here just this very test level here, it just says board width and height, and the number of bombs are 10 and the number of treasure is 35. So to make sure that I'm not filling the playfield up entirely, let's say I got 10 bombs, or I want to keep 35 treasure, and I want to keep 5 clues, and then of course this is 40, and 477 minus 40 gives us 33. And yes, of course, let's try this, or 36, because I think my algorithm, man, that's such a hard word, will probably complain if there's too many bombs. So this is just the first test level. Good, and can't place all special tiles because the array tried 76 of total 71. So apparently it can only place 71 tiles there. So this is a problem. But for now, you can see essentially it will complain, but it placed them all. This is another good thing for prototyping. If something your code can't handle, a good point for me, at least for prototyping, is to still allow it, but give me as a developer a warning that don't count on it being not glitchy. Crazy Boo this game has bullets now? Not yet. Maybe we should have some sort of bullets. I mean, shooting mechanics, essentially top-down shooting mechanics for games are super satisfying, I would say. As soon as you have maybe start out with a tile-based game and then you make it maybe real-time, and then you have enemies and now you can shoot at the enemies and they react to something. Really, shooting and having enemies react to shooting is really something that makes a game initially fun to play, but it requires collisions and stuff like this. And like I said, for this one I wanted to make it turn-based, and I still want to make a turn-based game fun. So yeah, there we go. Random Rith410, sorry, said I never heard of that design ideas, but it's definitely a good idea. I mean, in the end, it's just trying, if something is fun, where you realize, yeah, maybe it's fun if I can go a little bit faster than usual, try to go as fast so until it's no fun anymore, and then dial back where it's still fun. And also with the shooting mechanics, I think this was how Serious Sam, the first one, went when they were prototyping, and they realized if the player is pretty much overpowered, well, if you give them enough enemies to shoot at, suddenly this overpowering, it still feels that you're overpowered, but it's all about, then it becomes about positioning and so on. So again, I would assume that the first Serious Sam would have been a totally different game if it was more about stealth and let's say resource management, because you don't have enough bullets and so on. So yeah, it can really completely change the feel of a game. And Rith also said, okay, random idea, what if you have to move a unit across the hex map while they collect treasure and avoid bombs? This is also something that I had, where it's not so much you as a player interacting here with the playing field, but also having a sort of avatar that you essentially, where your positioning makes sense. I think there is already a Minesweeper game currently in development that does this, where essentially it's just Minesweeper where you play a soldier and you have to go around the playing field and rescue other soldiers. If you're not sure whether there's a mine in front of you or not, you can use a flamethrower, but of course then when something explodes, also the hostage or the trapped other soldier explodes. So I would put this on my sheet that's called Plan B, because like I said, it suddenly makes things more like a board game. Then again, board games are fun, right? So maybe not too wrong there. But with this I feel I don't have explored all the possibilities. They are there when there is no player avatar, player character, player representation on the board. But again, it would make another more interesting dimension. For example, if you're not really there with your unit, you could maybe even shoot a couple of tiles across, so you wouldn't get hurt if a bomb explodes. Things like that. But again, I'm not quite sure if I want to go there today. Hedgie is here. Hey, welcome, Hedgie. Thank you so much. That's fair. That is basically my idea. Yeah. There are no wrong ideas, especially with prototyping. At least it's fun for everything to think through, especially if there are weird ideas where you think, yeah, this can't work. Well, hang on, it might. And then you get weird genre mixes, and I think those epiphanies are the most interesting part. And I think, yeah, maybe there could something happen with this one. So right, now what we have now is, I just recreate the board. No clues. Just two clue tiles here. Everything that's not a treasure is bombs. Lady Mislev said, I'm thinking that I wish I had asked you to play Hexagon the other night. Oh yes, again the DOS game that's already abandonware, right? I really should give it a try then. I played Hexig again, where it's all about rotating hexagons. So yeah, this is also something that's a bunny hole for me. It's a hex board, and the mechanics might have given you ideas. I mean, I can still play it, so probably will sometime this week then. It's never too late. Okay, so let's give this field a proper try. So I will use my clue here on this thing. Okay, I got 2 treasures. Maybe I plop another one here, and my hunch is that there might be 2 bombs, but again, it's really hard to tell, and I've run out of clues, so I really need to. Okay, there was a bomb, this was a bomb, this was a bomb, this was 1 treasure, so maybe there is 2 treasures. So yeah, this is hard. Okay, so I need another clue here, so I can afford 1 clue there. And yeah, if I right click on the clue, I just can flag all the neighbors there, should I want to. Anyway, okay, so there are 2 bombs and 3 treasures, so I might say those must be treasures then, and I was lucky there. But this is definitely a bomb. But how about this? 3 bombs, 2 treasures. Okay, I can afford another clue, maybe here. Okay, now those are just 2 bombs, so either one of those is a bomb or a treasure. I say treasure, good. So this is definitely a bomb. Okay, so this is already with this amount where essentially I have to spend all the money, all the treasure that I find on new clues. This is probably too hard for this level, but it's an interesting idea where it's really the floor is lava, so every misstep you take, it hurts. I don't check it on Twitch as much as I should. Is this like Minesweeper but Hexagon more or less? Yes, more or less similar. And you have 2 clues to get hints and the treasure you want and the bombs you want to avoid. And once you clear a board of all the treasures that are hidden, congratulations, you've made the level. Okay, right now I've run out of clues. Well, essentially there can be 2 bombs, so this might be one. Oh yeah, this is definitely a bomb. But yeah, either one. Okay, there is a treasure and this is a bomb. So I got 2 treasures again. So again, I'm just using up all my treasures for in the hopes to find. Okay, there's just 1 bomb, and yeah, this was the bomb. 1, 2, 3. So good, but I'm draining HP now. So this is essentially unbeatable. But hey, it's good to know that I need more clues to actually be really able to play this game, right? So this might be a bomb and this might be a treasure. So this is for sure a bomb, and this must be a treasure then. Okay, good. So still 1 HP and using up all 1 bomb. There's 1 bomb hidden, and maybe it's here. So yeah, this is the 1 bomb, and this must be the other bomb then. Okay, cool. So nice score here. I mean, like I said, you only get the negative score when you hit a bomb. But yeah, I just got 1 HP left for this misstep. So yeah, this is quite interesting. So if everything is bombs and you don't get any clues left, or you start out with, the game here starts you out, here it says level player clues 2. And by the way, the board clues are 5. And those didn't get distributed because there were too many bombs. So if I just say, let's say 30 bombs, then it might work out better that there's still room left for clues. And yes, this looks essentially better. So in order to make the most of my clues, I need to place them in close proximity to each other, like maybe this. So here with 3 bombs and 1 treasure, and there it says 3 treasure and 2. I mean, again, it's still a lot of luck involved, right? Rith says, rotating hexagons made me think of like applying a rotation to a hex and all its adjacent ones to move where the bombs and treasures are. So essentially where I would be rotating hexagons and then just making groups of bombs and treasure, because that sounds a lot like hexig. Then where you just move everything in those little slots there, because once you make in Super Hexagon, once you make these little flowers there, it's the best thing that you can do, and then everything cascades from there. And this is something where things just keep falling into place, like with Candy Crush Saga. It feels very, very rewarding. And also one thing that I really like about Minesweeper is that when you click open an empty tile, and especially in the earlier levels when there aren't as many bombs, then it just uncovers the entire board where there are no problems, and you are left with essentially only left where the problems are for you to be solved. And this game is essentially everything is a problem, right? So maybe I could do this that once you open up something where no, this does not work. This does not work because essentially what you open up is place where you could place clues. But if I open up everything where there is neither bomb nor treasure, then I mean, this could work. This could work. Rith says, Affair, I haven't played that Hexagon game yet. Maybe I can show it to you if I find it. It's called Hexig, and I think it was designed by Alexei Pajitnov. That's the guy who came up with Tetris. And he was working with Microsoft when the Xbox came out, I think. But let me Hexig MSN games, and maybe there is a carbonated games for various platforms. So it was carbonated games, and designers Alexei Pajitnov. So yeah, okay, I wasn't saying anything wrong here. So essentially, yeah, this game just says here, click on a group of 3 hexagonal tiles to rotate them, hit the spacebar to change the direction of the rotation. And that's essentially it. And you, again, it's just a matching game. And when you have more of 3 of them next to each other, matched up, then they disappear. And essentially that's it. And sometimes earn bonus points for creating flowers and other special combinations. And essentially, this is the game. So it's a match 3 game just with hexagons, but back then it was quite something new, I think. Alexei Pajitnov, my God, made 2 games that I'm completely addicted to. Okay, the unicorn looks out the window for the oats truck. Yeah, so it's bored. So okay, so this is a bit easier, this level, now that I got 5 clues. But you know what, let's say 20 bombs, and I want to start the player with, let's say, 10 clues and 5 they can place themselves. Let's see how much fun this would be. So this is just my testing level. Good. Okay, so 1 2 3 4, this is good. 1 2 3, this works. And there is just also 1 1 2 3. So 1 2, okay, there was 1. Good. So there I just lucky. This is a bomb. Okay, and I want to know which of these, because I still got 2 bombs. One I already found, but the other of those 2 bombs is hidden among 1 2 3, among those 3 tiles here. So this one is one for sure, but there is another bomb and one is a treasure, and I don't know which is which. So if I plop maybe a clue here, if it's a treasure, I will destroy the treasure, but then again, I'm quite sure that this is the bomb. So I just destroyed the treasure. Yeah, so I can say this is a bomb for sure. Since I know that there is 1 bomb and this must be the bomb, and there are still 2 treasures, so there must be 1 and 2. Okay, so I think this works in terms of teasing out using statistics or deduction skills to find out where something is hidden and where there is not. So it's a viable strategy, like I said, when you're not quite sure where there is a bomb, just to place over a clue, and then you're sure. So this can't be the bomb, this must be the bomb. There's nothing on it, so it's 1 2. Okay, cool. This is kind of fun. This is kind of fun, but 1, okay, there, this is the 1, there's still 1 2, yeah, and this I have to guess, but now I can afford some more clues. So there is just everything full with treasure, everything full with bombs, and okay, so 2 treasure, 2 bombs. Now here is just 1 bomb, this is the bomb, this is also the bomb, 1 2 treasure, and this must be the bombs. Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this. So with more, okay, 1, so all of them are just bombs. Good to know. Then I got a clue with 1 bomb and 2 treasure, and here it's either or. So I just, yeah, I can take a hit and level clear and have 3 HP. Okay, so as you can see right now, there is no scoring, and for now the score doesn't mean a thing to me as a player. And you know what, maybe I want to change that, because okay, so this, oh, by the way, did you start with any clues on the board, says Rith? And yes, the game started with 5 clues on this board. And what's the black slashes hint for, says Hedgie? It's just to lock a tile that you can't click it, essentially. So if I have it, I can't click it, and also if it's flagged as a bomb, I can click it. Instead, what I think would make more sense, if you say something is maybe a question mark, and something that you say is a bomb. So the game knows, okay, if you just lock it for yourself or you're not quite sure, because why do you want to lock something? Because you're not sure whether there is a bomb underneath or not. So if you say it's just a question mark, then it's for you, and if it's a B flag, then you can say, yeah, this is a bomb. So maybe I want to change the graphics on this one, because again, it's all about letting the game know that you, the player, know that there is a bomb hidden. Instead, it's essentially flagging is the same thing as clicking open the treasures. You click open the treasure tile, so you want to inform the game, I know there is something rewarding for me, so this is why I click it open. And with the bomb, you let the game know, I know this is bad for me and I know exactly where it is. This is why I flag it with my right mouse button. But essentially it's the same thing, right? So right, what was I saying? What I was saying before about the points, the score, is the following thing. Like I said, I want to reward players for they get score when they open something or flag something correctly, and just get that they spent enough or kept enough treasure that they didn't spend on tiles and so on and so forth. But it's points. It's paradoxically pointless for the player unless I let them do something with the points. If I say you get gold when you do things right, at the end you get gold for treasure and so on, and the clues that you don't have spent or how many HP you still have left, you get gold. But it feels a bit more tangible, and it feels more tangible if I say, yeah, treasure is gold, but only the treasure that you carry at home or carry to home, and the treasure that you but you can on the game you can spend gold or treasure for clues. So suddenly when I don't have score and everything is just what the player can exchange stuff for, it becomes a currency, right? And then it's much more interesting to me as a player that I don't have to balance, yeah, is it treasure and how much treasure for clues, and but I also get points, but the points are just for the high score. So I think I will just go and try to say everything is just, even the score gives you just gold or treasure. And right, but first what I wanted to do is tile game, there we go, the assets. What I want to do first is update these flagging graphics, where I just say yeah, this is how it looks like here in Photoshop, and where it says just bomb question mark or just the question mark. Cannot use or cannot move it. Yeah, I don't want to move it, it's already centered. Okay, so I'm just saving this out for the sprite. By the way, is the stream a bit choppy or something? Or is it just me? Because I'm converting some Cyberpunk game videos that I did, so that I recorded of me playing Cyberpunk, because I want to record, usually the games that I play, I record them because I never know whether I need to use something for a video, and this is why I always, yeah, record them and then compress them and keep them around. Stream seems fine, says Cursiboo. Okay, cool. It doesn't seem choppy. Wonderful, because my mouse pointer was acting a bit weird. And also Lady Mistleaf says, looks fine to me. Okay, thank you so much. Right, tile question mark. And the other thing that I want is where I want, or that I say, yeah, this is a bomb, and you flag this correctly. So I just need a flag sprite, or if I'm lazy, maybe it's just some flag emoji, or yeah, probably won't work there in this font. Flag. Yeah, this does not work, but maybe I can find a font that works. Which font has emoji? Probably Arial, right? Or Microsoft. Emoji 1. Look at this, Emoji 1. Always helpful. Hey Phil, I'm up to 22 minutes of edited footage, says Commander Stitch. 22 minutes already edited. Oh, this must have been quite a lot of work, so congratulations on that. So how long do you think will it still take you? And I know that I am asking this question, so yes. Right, so this is the flagged thing. I'll probably say, yeah, you know what, I will just put a big B on top of the flag. And now it's the Myriad Pro, but I don't want this font, I want the other font, that it doesn't look as disjointed. So yeah, Photoshop is for some reason really slow right now, but it's cool as long as the stream doesn't suffer. I'm good with it. So this is my super ugly program art for this. We just say it's a bomb. It's a bomb. Maybe make this a bit smaller then. Commander Stitch says, I'm not sure, I'm guessing approximately 45 minutes or more. Yeah, 45 minutes of edited footage of really something, yeah, that makes sense and has a structure to it. My God, it's quite an achievement. And as you know, even I struggle with it. And sometimes in between the edit, I realize, oh my God, the edit is not working, and I have to restructure things. And essentially, it's not. Well, it's not quite back to square one, but it's back to square, not far past one. Okay, so the other thing is that my this thing here will also, this sprite essentially will get colorized in Game Maker, but I mean for right now I'm only using white anyway, so it's cool. So just keep this as flagged. I was just worried about that the color of the flag would take different colors when it's multiplied with another color. So I just call this flagged bomb. And let's exchange the sprites. So it's first I want a bomb flag, and then it's just question marks. So edit image and then import image. This is how it goes. Import images. Maybe I should have started with a new file, so maybe I do this before I dive into the code so that I have a backup at least. So where are my assets? Here they are. So it's the question mark and this bomb flag thing there. So the other way around. No, it was first. The first one was flag the bomb. And by the way, the automated unicorn likes to greet people even if they have joined, because I think it has to do with the IRC connection of my bot. So sometimes it might say hello to you even despite it already had said hello to you. Okay, so those are the sub images in this tile graphic. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3. So let me see just what I have here. I've never used Game Maker. This is very interesting to watch. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the Game Maker language, I'm quite fond of it. It's not really object oriented. I mean, I always say it's as object oriented as the first Doom is 3D. Well, it kind of looks like it, and you can make it work, but it's a lot of manual labor. But for me, this is good because I like to clutter up my code with if statements where I know at what is happening at a certain in what sequence. This is very important for me. This is why I'm not so comfortable with object-oriented programming languages. Right, let's have a look at the tile object itself. So when it gets created, it got all those enums going on there, and these are the sub images. So I'm discerning between the image for background and the image for border. So flagged is 2 and locked is 3. Okay, so now here comes the problem, because I called this locked, and locked is good, but maybe I will keep it as locked. I want to spell it as unsure when there is a question mark. Yeah, you can see now the B doesn't show because everything was multiplied with black, with a black color there. So, but yeah, you can say I'm not quite sure, and there is a bomb. But either way, so the question mark essentially is just yeah, locked. Okay, so right, and you know what? I will change treasure to gold, at least in the UI, just so that I have, or currency or credits, just something that is very neutral and very open. So the display is here in the game UI, in the draw UI, and it says here score treasure. Let's just call it gold for now. And also in this exchange, this bank thingy here, this happens in this ugly blue box. And also that has this GUI here, and it says exchange gold for 1 clue. And you know what? Maybe we can make this differently, that Automated Unicorn just sparkled up your comment. Would you not want the bomb flag to be the one you can't click because you know it's a bomb, so you don't want to accidentally click it? Yeah, by the way, I don't think I made this clear. So either if it's flagged or with a bomb, you can't click it with a left click anymore. You have to unlock it, of course, yeah. Because sometimes this happened to me with playing Minesweeper, and this is, I think, the second thing that I had there was, I want to lock something. Okay, so exchange treasure for clue or exchange gold for clue. And you know what? The thing is now, this might be interesting, that there is a different amount of treasure. Right now it's just one treasure that you pick up per tile, right? But it might be interesting if it's not just one treasure, but it's 100 gold and you need, let's say, in this case, 200 gold to exchange for a clue. So exchange rate clues. I've already made this here in my globals. This was quite good because I only have now one spot, apparently not here, where I'm having this global variable that I need to change, and the exchange rate clues. Yeah, it would be helpful if I had stored this somewhere, what this game global exchange rate clues is. Let me just find it. Find all, and it says here label if, and they're at line 33. Global exchange rate. I don't know where this is defined. Oh, it's no, it's not a global exchange rate. Yeah, this makes sense. It's not a variable that's in global scope, but it's the game control, the object, the instanced object of game is possessing or is having this property. So where did I put it? Essentially, so here, I'm in the draw GUI, so this makes sense. So treasures in it, exchange rate clues. So let's say 50. Just try 50, and whenever we uncover a treasure, it's of a certain amount of treasure that you get, and this might be random. Maybe this could be fun. We're not quite sure how much treasure you get out of something. I'm not quite sure if this is fun, but maybe we could make this work. Okay, so essentially the code is when you uncover a tile and it is indeed a treasure, then it just is open, and the treasure count, you just say minus because there is one treasure less on the board. So apparently now this won't work anymore when I say the treasure is not the number of treasures, but instead I'm using gold, which is just an arbitrary amount of gold that you can have per treasure. So this might come out wrong, but occupant treasure, global board treasure count, type clue. So if I'm transforming, of course, this makes sense. I'm in a different thing here. So this is when I'm planting a clue on top of a treasure, then of course it would diminish the count of treasures that are still to be found. Rith says, if you wanted to remove points so the player only has gold, could you also remove HP and have bombs remove some of your gold? Yes, at one point I thought about it also, that essentially there is just one resource in the game, but I felt that this maybe was a bit too little. But of course, I mean, sometimes you could force your way through a level if you're just rich enough, and I don't think I want this. I want to have this HP thing very much decoupled from the player resources, because essentially it really says it's just a safety net, and I don't, at least in currently, maybe it could be fun, I don't want players to essentially just be too rich, to become too rich to care, right? So that they still have to be clever to retain their wealth they have amassed, so that you really can't be sure what to click open. If this makes sense. But yeah, it's a good, interesting way of thinking, or interesting idea. Thank you. Right. If I want to open something up, yeah, that's fair. It wouldn't lean to fun gameplay. I mean, I would assume again, most of the times when you're not sure about something, it's best to really just try it out, and then you will see. I mean, this is just what I would guess happens. But again, those are all things that I really want not to throw out entirely, but really I want to keep as plan B, because the more options that you have, and sometimes even things that didn't work before, once you've changed enough rules, suddenly something that didn't work at all in the context of the new rules becomes something quite interesting. Okay, so I want the player to get a certain amount of money when they open a treasure. So if it's of type bomb, the HP goes down, and if it's of type treasure, the treasure count on the board goes down and the treasure in the player goes up. So this treasure, I say, yeah, where do we put this? Of course, we can't put this in the tile because this is a gameplay rule. So I'm making here in the game, I make a new rule here, and the rule is, well, it's not a rule, but yeah, stick it here. Essentially, it's just treasure min. Let's say at least you get 10 treasure, and treasure max, at least in this level, you get a maximum, let's say 50. And right, and between those, it just picks a random value and subtracts or adds this to your treasure, right? And this is essentially all there is. So where does this happen? It happens here. So the global game treasure, I just say legacy for now, at least. And then I say var r equals integer random, and yeah, why not save ourselves some work, and I just copy this and just call it game treasure min. Did I call this treasure min? I always have to look up the variable names 1 second after I've come up with them. So treasure min and treasure max. Okay, so this is still correct. So a random value between treasure min and treasure max. And I call this this treasure. Again, I will stick with treasure at least for the time being. And right, and I can use this now, and I will say just global game, please add this treasure plus equals this. I deleted something. Plus equals this treasure. And the exchange rate I've set at what? This was not here in the task. The exchange rate was 50. And the maximum you get per clue, per treasure is 50. So I think this, maybe, yeah, let's try this. Will this be fun? Wrong number of arguments. Did I forget something here? There's a warning. Number of arguments. Expected 1, got 2. Oh, it's irandom range, of course. Now this should work. Good. Okay, so my gold is now 22 of 1. Yeah, this of 1 is just the number of treasures that are still hidden, so I might need to change the wording there. Okay, so I exchange 50 gold for 1 clue, and there are 2 and there are 3. So 1, 2, 3, and I got 81 gold. So this kind of feels nice. You know what? I mean, it is polishing. It is polishing, but I want to have something, the numbers just go up so that as a player I instantly see how much treasure, how lucky I was with my treasure. So this could be counted as polishing. You know what? Let's save this. Excuse me, let's save this. Where is my tile game? As a new game maker project. And I call this Hex Game version 08. Just so that I don't mess anything up that already works. The automated unicorns licks the inside of a cookie container. Oh, it might be hungry. Are you hungry, unicorn? Not hungry. Yeah, let's feed it a cookie. Let's feed it a cookie. And I said unicorn, so cheers. Right, I want these numbers to go up. And for this, I think it's best if I make a new object that essentially just displays a number and that goes up and then destroys itself, so I don't have to concern myself too much with it. So I create a new object, and I just call this obj score float or floater number float. Floating number, no, this is misleading. My god, naming is so hard. Any of you devs probably know this, but I think giving your variables the right names or the right metaphor for everything that makes sense is really hard. So just call this, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Floating number. No, this is floating point. Floater, float, pop up, jump up, score up. I'm overthinking this. Phil, you're overthinking this. Score info. No, score float. Score float. Score float. Okay, so for this I need three things essentially. I need a create event where I can initialize all the variables. Otherwise, when I'm using a variable that I didn't specify here in the create event, since this is GameMaker, it will make a problem for me later on. Rith says, I feel like this kind of UX counts as part of the design. Yeah, this is my excuse too. I mean, on one hand, it's polishing, but on the other hand, it really helps you stay in the flow of the game when you know, okay, this was good, this was not so good. I think I'm good now. So thank you for justifying it also. I've justified it for myself. So this is not polishing. We're actually doing some solid UX work here. Right, so what do I need? Value, let's say I'm just starting with 1, and then time, or just say timer, or because it's an animation and I like to do this programmatically, so I'm just saying it moves up, and after a second or after half a second it just fades out. So init or alpha init is 1, and then it fades out, and I just say alpha step. I'm not messing with delta time or anything. Again, this is just being a prototype. So just say it's 1 divided by room speed. So this is 1 second divided by room speed, so it takes 1 second to fade out. At least this is the plan. And the value it's going to display. And the last thing that I need to know is, by the way, alpha init, alpha step, and alpha current equals alpha init. Because essentially what I'm doing is, with each step I will subtract one of this alpha step, and once alpha is below 0, then the object just destroys itself. So, and the alpha init, you know what, when I start with the alpha init 2, what does this do then? This is pretty helpful if you want to have, this is essentially just a lazy man's timer, because I want the score to be displayed by 1 second and then at the next second start to fade out. Alpha works like this: 1 is completely opaque and 0 is completely transparent. But what if it's twice completely opaque? Well, nothing changes. It only changes when their value is between 0 and 1. If it's in the negative, it's as if it was 0. And now, so the first second between when this value from 2 gets decremented until it's at 1. So between, if it stays greater than 1, nothing will happen. This is essentially where I have a timer where nothing happens. So I hope this makes sense. Yeah, and, right, the last thing that I want to need is x, or well, it's just y init. This is where essentially it's just y, and y end equals, or y offset. This is just how far the number will float on the y-axis. Offset, let's say call it y distance, and this is, since I want to float it upwards, I will just say -50, and we will see how good this goes. So x init equals y, this is the current y position in the room, and the end equals y init plus y distance. So since it's -50, then this should be fine. So the most important thing now is that once it gets instantiated, that it takes care of itself. And I do this in the step event. So with each step, it has the alpha current. Maybe I just need to call it alpha and not alpha current because it's the current alpha. Anyway, just call it alpha. And I say alpha minus equals alpha step. Step. This is 4-letter words, still don't get it right. Okay, so, and then we check if the alpha is less than or equal to 0. Well, yeah, let's make some brackets. Instance destroy, because we don't need it anymore. And essentially it just takes care of itself. This is good. And now what I also want to do is to lerp between those things. So maybe it's easier not to use alpha step, but just that I call it completion. Completion equals 0, and duration of the entire thing, let's say, is 2 seconds or something. So it's 2 times room speed, and the completion step, or just completion step. I was just shying away because it's quite a long word that I could easily mess up, which I just did. Completion step equals duration divided by, no, does this make sense? Completion 0 to 1, and it takes 2 seconds. So is the duration divided by 100? Could this make I think I've just made things much more complicated because I want to linearly interpolate between the starting value. And you know what, let's do this differently. Let's just say the distance, or instead of the distance I just say y step, and with each update, or with each new step in the game, it just adds this number to step. So I don't need y end, I just need y init and y step. I don't even need y init essentially because this is just so simple. So y equals plus y step. So this one just keeps being added to it until it's destroyed. And essentially I think that's it. So I don't need completion, I don't need duration, because the duration is done here by the alpha step. So alpha init I need alpha init. Alpha is alpha init. The alpha step is good. Okay, so this should work. Okay, then we only need to display it, and of course maybe select a nice font. Let's also say just font and color, and I want the color to be, just to be sure that we can see it, I just make it yellow, and I hope that it's legible. And the font, I don't have so many fonts in this game right now, so I just call it font debug. This is the default font, so it's those big letters. Let me quickly show you. So this is the debug font. Yeah, it's just Arial Black, or the debugging small font is just Liberation Mono. Okay, anyway, this is not what we want to do. We want to make this floating score. So good. So then the last thing that we need is a draw event. And in this draw event, I say draw set V align, the vertical alignment, no, draw set alpha, draw set V align. And I want this to start at the vertical align at the bottom, FA font align bottom, and the horizontal align in the center. So this is essentially where the origin of the text is that you're going to write. Then I just said draw set font to the font, draw set color and alpha, draw set color to color. Did I call it color? Yes, I called it color. And draw set alpha to the alpha. Draw set alpha to alpha. Good, and then I just say draw text at the x and y coordinates, and y, if you remember, gets added the step value each step, and the alpha also gets changed or diminished. And so I just can say string the value that we have. Maybe I want to do something. I mean, for now it's okay, because value could be either number, but maybe if I'm using fractions or something, I don't, or that once we have floating point rounding errors, that maybe you get hit by, or you make a treasure and it's of 35.00000000136. Maybe I want to have some rounding later in there, but some rounding, I sound like Arnold. Okay, cool. So essentially this should work as it is. So all I need to do, because this object essentially is just taking care of itself. You know what? Once I'm done here with the alpha, because this is global. Once I set the alpha, everything else, all the sprites, all the fonts will also get drawn with the last alpha I set it to. So I will just reset it to 1 so that everything that comes after it is opaque. And if it shouldn't be opaque, there's probably a special case in there, in the individual object. Okay, so all what I need to do is now to create this floating object there when I'm clicking something open. So so I'm getting this treasure. This is the number, the value. So then we will add it there to the game, but also for the visual things, I just say add floating score effect. And this is instance create depth. I mean, I don't need the certain depth, but never mind. So at the X and Y of the individual tile, at a depth of, yeah, let's 0, or let's say -10 or something, that it's always in the front. And the object itself is obj score float. And now I want to do something with it, so maybe it's better to store it in a variable. I just call it score fx. And this is a reference to this instance. And now I can pass it. Why is there an error? I don't like this, that there is an error message going on there. Unnecessary expression used as a statement. What the hell? Score of X I used as a statement? Yeah, I'm not quite sure what. Is this the problem? Okay, apparently this was the problem. It just didn't compile. Yeah, only referenced once. Okay, so score fx value, because I'm writing directly into these instances variables, I just say the value is this treasure. And essentially this should all be it. So let's see if this works out, or if I get the crash. No, look at this. It kind of works. I mean, the yellow is not really helpful, but it works. Okay, this is cool. Sometimes I'm very surprised when something works right away. So yeah, score float. Maybe I don't make it go up as fast. So let's say just instead of -1, I just go by -0.66. And let's save this. And also let's change the font from yellow. Let's say, yeah, let's go black. Paint it black. And bomb. Okay, now that it's black, it really has a quite different feel to it, right? It doesn't feel like you're picking up something, but it feels like it's a black number. I don't like this, so we need to make something else here. So I just make it orange, and you know what color? Shadow. I will add a shadow to it, and this is black. So I hope that this reads a bit better. So how do I do this here with a shadow? I just change here the color, draw, set color to color shadow, and I also just specify an offset. You shouldn't do a lot of calculations there in the draw event, but I mean, there's a prototype, so I just say O equals 3. It's just 3 pixels. And again, we're drawing essentially the same thing here, but as a shadow, so with an offset of x plus 3 and y plus 3. But since this is a shadow, of course it needs to be drawn first, and then we switch back to the actual color and draw what we want to draw at the initial coordinates. So let's see this in action. Look at this. 3 might be a bit too much. Let's go with 1.5 then, because the shadow looks a bit weird there, but just for legibility. Okay, this is good. It might be a bit, might hang around a bit too long there. So maybe 2 seconds is a bit, what's it, 1 second really, alpha in it? Yeah, it's 2 seconds. I just say, let's say just 1 second. And I do this essentially by setting the alpha value. Yeah, I think this makes more sense. This feels correct. So I got 176 gold and I can afford some more tiles. Okay, cool. My algorithm still works even for this. This is nice. Okay, so yeah, let's try to give this level then. Let me just check if there is anything that I also want to change before trying out the level. Right, so we start the level with a lot of clues and a lot of bombs. So this gold, again, this off 35, you shouldn't, this means how many treasures are still buried. You know what, let's address this because it might be completely misleading to what it actually means because it refers to something else. So where is my control game? Control game, there we go, and there in the draw GUI, and it says gold. Yeah, just say gold, and then I make a new line where it just say treasures still buried or something. So this should go on the next line. I just say twice. And I say, you know what, let's do this as var I equals -1. And there we go. At what position? Times var I plus plus or plus plus I. Then I can start with 0. And then I don't have to care about where to put stuff because it will always be in the next line, whatever the line will be. Okay, anyway, so I just say gold, treasure hidden, buried, plus board treasure count. There we go. And then I change the color and draw the other strings. Right. Okay, so this shouldn't be as misleading anymore. So there we have treasure hidden. Yeah, maybe try this. Okay, cool. So gold, treasure hidden, clue tiles. This looks nice. Okay, so here we are. And it still counts the score, but for now, let's just ignore this. All important is the gold, the gold. 1, 2, 3. So this was quite good. So I can afford some more clues. 50 gold, at least 1. So I will plop 1 clue here. And I'm still, maybe this is a treasure. Yeah, then this must be the bomb. I also can't click this just to make sure, and this I also can't click accidentally. So this is definitely a bomb. And there we got 2 treasure and 2. So this, there is 1 bomb and there's 1 treasure or 1 bomb. So I just, let's buy a clue and plop it here, and this didn't help us at all. So this, okay, good, this was the treasure, so it was a guess after all. And there are 2 bombs and 2 treasures. So I would assume this must be a treasure, and this, no, this was one of the bombs. This was not good. Okay. So there is 1 bomb that is not a bomb. Is this the one? Yeah, there was no bomb because the bomb was here. Okay, so good. The algorithm is okay. I just was stupid. So 3 hidden bombs. So this is 1. There are 2 bombs also hidden there. So let's just buy a clue. And 1, 2. Okay, this is good. And only 3 treasures hidden there. Would like marking the bomb with something you spend money on. And if you're right, you get a bigger reward. Be interesting. So essentially, you gamble. You would be gambling as a player. Where you can say, yeah, let's say, I bet 50 pieces of gold that 50 pieces of 8 that there is a bomb underneath there. And if there isn't, your money is gone. And if there is, you get twice the payout, essentially, because it's an either or kind of bet. But if I just give you points when it's correct and no points if it's incorrect, then, I mean, the only betting mechanic is that if you're wrong, you lose points, and if you're right, you acquire points. So essentially, if I say, yeah, if you flagged something incorrectly as a bomb, you essentially get punished. So I would deduct only gold from you if it's wrong. Would this make sense? Because this betting on something essentially is, like I said, is essentially the same thing, just deferred in time. But not even deferred in time, because it would happen at the same point here when I just have a flag, and I just once the level is over, and the game essentially just tallies up how many flags have been correctly set. Again, this must be probably something that has to do with animation and so on, just to make it very clear that, okay, the game looks underneath there, yes, this is a bomb, you get a thumbs up or some score, and if it's not, you have to pay. I think this is the easiest to understand part. Again, because I don't want it to get too complicated, because I have a feeling that it already is in a way, because that we have bombs and treasure. So yeah, deducting points doesn't seem like a good mechanic. Yeah, in the end, I think I'm always for rewarding the player when they do something right, but not overly punishing when they don't. So yeah, this betting mechanic, the only problem that I'm having with this betting mechanic might be that it's a bit intransparent. So okay, I'm spending gold on this one, but it doesn't do anything, and then you get points for it, but it's not quite clear. So I think if I introduce this betting mechanic, it needs to be communicated very clearly at what it does and what the fallback could be if you do it wrong. And then, of course, I need to think through how to take advantage of this, or how to break it, essentially. But again, yeah, if you know what, I will keep it as it is, so that you don't lose anything when you flag something that is incorrect, but you gain if you know what, this doesn't work, because then I flag just everything, because it doesn't matter anyway, right? So I need to have some sort of punishment for if you really want to flag something, you ought to be really sure about it, otherwise it might cost you. So yeah, I just thought of something that's even more opaque to understand, that once the level is over and the game goes through all the tiles that still need to be processed, like the flags, and once you step on a flag, something that has been flagged where there is no bomb, you lose HP. But yeah, forget it. This is super complicated. Deducting points doesn't seem like a good mechanic. Limit your flags to the number of bombs. Yeah, like in wasn't it the same thing with Minesweeper, that you only have a certain number of flags for bombs? This could work. Yes, this is a good idea. So where's my notepad? So again, same mistake I made last time. I can write this down digitally on this computer thing right in front of me. But you know what? No, I will put this on paper. So limit numbers, because I don't know where I will save all those notes files. And the last time the note files, I didn't save them, and I had to go through my own stream to see what I put down on paper. So, okay, you said limit flags to number of bombs. Flags to number of bombs. Then, of course, I need to introduce a number of flags that you can place, because right now, as you can see, it's just as many as I wish. But yeah, you know what? I will just try to complete this level for now. So I just spend all my gold on some more clues. So there, okay, this is very good. And 1, 2, 3. So I'm quite certain that those are 3. Then how about here? So it's either or. So this was the bomb. Okay, good. And I can afford another clue. So there is 1 treasure still hidden. This is this, and there's 1 bomb still hidden. This is this. Okay, 4 bombs, 1 treasure. How about here? 2 bombs, 2 treasures. So I think this must be okay. This must be, no, it was also not. So this must be. So yeah, 2 bombs still. Yeah, this makes sense. So there is still again 1 bomb, 1 treasure. So let's try this one. Yeah, this was the bomb. So I'm just trying to take risks here, but didn't quite pay off. So okay, apparently there was a bomb, so this is good. This is good, and this is good. So there is nothing here. This can be empty. Okay, 2 treasure, 1 bomb. So I would assume that, yeah, if this was empty, no, this is not empty. There's, yeah, okay, good, sorry. Nice score. Thank you, Lady Mistleaf. Please disregard the score. There is nothing to see here for the score. Right, so this is either or, and again, I would assume that this is the bomb. No, this was the treasure, so yeah, this is the bomb. Ah, good. Sorry, been working on something else last minute. Yeah, no worries, no worries. You don't have to follow. There won't be a test on it. Right, so I will buy me some more clues. So this is 1 bomb. This must be treasure. Then how about this? More clues, please. 3 bombs, 1 treasure. So I would assume there is 1 treasure among those 2 things here and 3 bombs here. So I place 1 clue there. And since there is 1 bomb, there is 1 bomb. So this is not a bomb, but this is then. And then we have 1, 2, 3 bombs. So this, okay, this is the bomb, and this is also the bomb. Okay, so I've been completely overthinking this. Okay, so I got still 1 HP left and can buy me some clues here. So 3 bombs. Okay, so this is not good, but with that, yeah, I can finish the level. Okay, does this look fun? Is this fun? Are there too many bombs? Are there too little treasure? Are there too much treasure? Does it matter how much gold I get per treasure? Honestly, makes me want to try it. Oh, thank you. So right now when I'm clicking something open, it really doesn't matter how much gold I get. I will always look here at my current amount of gold that I have. So again, I want to keep as much gold as I can, which means I shouldn't buy too many clues, but I also don't want to risk my HP. So essentially it's as with my last attempt, I just came out barely even because I pretty much spent all the gold that I could afford with clues. So right now the game starts me off with some clues already set and 5 additional clues. So if I'm good or if I'm risk taking, then I could say yeah, I spent just those 5 clues there and then no more treasure essentially. But I can't be sure. I mean, there's the chance it's 1 to 5 that I hit on the bomb. And I think because there is 3 bombs and there is... the chance might be that this is the bomb. I would just consider this. Yeah, and look at this, I was right. This is good. So, right. But now I really need to take some risks because I don't want to spend more of my gold. So there is the chance 1 in 4, so maybe this might be the treasures because I have a feeling that either here, yeah, I think this is the bomb down here. No, this was the bomb. Okay, good, and there's a chance of 1 to 5, so maybe I want to spend 1 clue and drop it, let's say here, and this was good, and yeah, I think 2 and versus 2, and here is 4, so I think this might be the bombs, and this was a bomb. So yeah, one of them is a bomb. And good, so it was not this one. This is a bomb and this is a bomb, and there I'm buying a clue here. So it's 1-1, so this is the bomb, right? This is the treasure. Good, okay. Just bought me another clue. Okay, 2 bombs, 3 treasures. Let's say this is a treasure. Oh, it's game over. Okay, so apparently I wasn't thinking things enough through enough, or I was just unlucky. So maybe I want to award the player more gold, that they can easily afford more clues, because clues are very important, as you've seen. Rith says, I didn't see the numbers. Does gold carry over to the next level? Yes, it does. I think this... yeah, actually it's a good question. Should the gold carry over to the next level? Because it would make things easier on the next level, because you could start out with more clues that you give yourself. But the first thing that I think of is when the levels get harder, and at a certain point you will run out of clues or run out of gold. If you just barely made it in one level, and the next level starts you off expecting players to have enough gold to at least buy some clues. Yeah, the thing is, if you've been unlucky, you might get into a downward spiral, and then it's pretty much game over. So that at a certain point you're encouraged to play the game as min-maxed as possible, so that you always have enough gold for the later levels. So yeah, I'm really not quite sure. But if you add more bombs as you progress, you will need to amass the money previously. If you add more bombs as you progress, you will need to amass the money. Yeah, I need to. Essentially, you want to come out with each level, if you played, well, not optimally, but if you played decently, you want to come out with a net win that helps you with the next level. And so this should stack on. But then again, you know what I could do is a bit of rubber banding, that you find maybe when you're low on gold or clues, you get more money, and the more gold you have, the smaller the chances are that you hit on a big jackpot on each tile. Or again, I'm just 3 steps ahead now, because now I'm thinking, but now if players know this, then it's the best strategy to always stay low on gold, because your turnout is the highest. My god, I need an Excel spreadsheet for this already. Essentially what you said about min-maxing. Yeah, right. Again, I think my design philosophy is that players who aren't just randomly clicking things, but who are clever at what they do, but still they don't have to min-max everything perfectly, that they still have a good chance of beating the game. Probably, let's say at a B level, not an A++ level. But yeah, it's still fun, and you still can progress without feeling that the game is punishing just because you're not min-maxing it. Would a target gold for the next level that starts you off on a better foot on the next level? So that you have to reach a certain amount of gold at the end, and only then you would have finished the level successfully. So capping things. This is an interesting idea. Because that way would allow me as the designer, at least I could expect or could know at what, where players fall in their current gold account state, at what level they roughly are. Right. Or another thing. Again, I'm making this overly complicated, but another thing is, what if you could, between levels, you could put certain gold in the bank and have it there with interest? No, my god, I'm overcomplicating this. Either you have to have X amount of gold by the end, or you need Y amount of gold to take some over to the next level, says Rith 410. And you know what? I think I like this. This is a good idea. You know why? Because I was thinking of having this in some sort of a gauge where you can really see it fill up. And once it hits a certain amount and it's full, you pretty much you're golden. You're golden, and you can just spend money as you wish. But then If you spend too much money, then the level completion gauge is not full anymore and you can't progress to the next level, right? Lady Misleaf says, however, you would need to make sure the randomized clues didn't just appear to put you at a disadvantage, like 3 touching on the screen. Yeah, those one. It depends whether it really is a disadvantage or not if they are touching. Because I feel I know a lot about this tile here in the middle. If I also put there a clue, it's very easy for me to, in this case, just make sure that there probably are 3 bombs there. This was the one, and this must be, this was the other one. Okay, what do I know? But yeah, I don't think that the touching clues are a problem. But of course, it might be possible that they cluster, and I have to do a lot of testing to see down the road whether this really evolves into a problem in later stages, whatever they may be. But yes, I really like this idea. So okay, how should we call this to make this as transparent as possible? Lady Misleaf says, what do you know? You're just a kid. Yeah, what do you know? I'm just a kid. Why should I know? I'm just a kid. That was the line. Thank you. from the Ludum 41 keynote. My God, my most elaborate video that's released. Right, good. Okay, so how should we call this account that you need to fill up with your gold in order to progress the level? A brilliant keynote. Thank you so much, rather jolly. Again, I really appreciate it that people still remember this. Should we call it travel costs to next level? This would at least be super transparent, but then again, it feels quite arbitrary. But or level completion gauge. I mean, this sounds a bit super cumbersome. Moisturizer. Thank you so much, Ruth. Make treasure to spend it. Go farther. Right, again, now that you said make it go farther, I'm now thinking of some kind of trebuchet that you have, and you need to load it up with a certain amount of boulders you need to exchange for gold that would advance you on the game board to farther levels. But then again, you can see this tendency I have to overcomplicating things there. This is really bad. I need to have this checked out, but probably not by a doctor. This would be too obvious. I need some kind of Rube Goldberg contraption to check my mental state. Yeah, this sounds about right. Yeah. Make treasure to spend it to go. But then again, we play a game about a guy on mushrooms. Yeah, I mean, there was this one game where you where you jump to hit your head on floating bricks, and out pops a mushroom, which allows you to grow big so that you don't instantly die when you touch a Goomba. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Right. Yeah, doesn't make any sense. So I can call this a gauge, maybe level completion happiness factor measured in gold. You're similar to me in that everything you design has to make sense when you design it. Exactly. This is the problem, that I only see the ramifications down the line so I grow a bit of hesitant to try things out. So you know what? I just call this level cap. Sounds crazy. Not sure if people would like that, says Cursey Boo. I don't think so either. This doesn't make any sense. Oh, by the way, not making any sense. Quick insert here. As you know me, there's always a long, elaborate aside to anything that's just barely mentioned or briefly mentioned in the chat. Ryan said, just call it your Goldie. Goldie. Oh, Goldie. Now I get it. Right, my aside was the Mario pipes that you in the Mario Bros game, that everywhere there, and I really did some digging and I really wanted to find out why pipes? Why would you come up with something like this? And it turns out there were Japan had this concrete pipes for plumbing purposes since the 1880s or something, and they were really ceramic things, and they were after World War II they were concrete and mass produced, and because there was such a boom in construction, because everything was just ruins and bombed, and they were just lying in big piles around everywhere, just those pipes. And children back then didn't have a lot of playrooms or playgrounds, right? So they would just come to those sites where the construction things would be stored, and also play in those pipes. And the thing is, I really have to find what's it called. I think it's called kabe or kane or something like that. Let me dig it up. I have it somewhere in my questions. But the fun thing is they even made playgrounds, because people who grew up during the World War or shortly after in Japan were playing on playgrounds that had these pipes, which weren't actually playgrounds. And then when there was real money in the 70s and 60s to make actual proper playgrounds, those pipes, let me find it. There we go. I got even a webpage for you where it makes much more sense. Where is Hexig? There is Hexig, where it makes much more sense. And yes, I agree to everything. Dokan, they're called Dokan. So essentially what I just said is there just a bit better explained. And look at this. This is how they look on playgrounds nowadays in Japan. So you can clearly see, and even there for shrimp aquariums. So you can see the resemblance there to those kind of pipes. Yeah. But again, this is just an aside, and to me, I found it very fun and very interesting, or very endearing in a sense, that you would see something in a game pop up that to everyone looks like completely weird and out of place and doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, you jump in pipes and you can go into pipes. Why this sort of pipes where a human would fit in? But then again, if you realize it was the game designer's childhood memories probably of playing on those playgrounds there, and now, like I said, it got so an endearing spin, and the mushroom is a Alice in Wonderland thing, and so on. So yeah, it's really nice how these things fit together. So Rather Jolly said that's a super cool aside. I had no idea. Yeah, neither did I. Just as I was researching trivia for my intermission and pre-stream pop quiz that is running. Because I want to have different kinds of trivia at the bottom. So when a question comes up twice, you would get different trivia bits as the answer was revealed. And this is why I did some research. And this is how I happened to come upon this knowledge. I mean, it's super niche, but again, it's super interesting. I like this. Playground pipes are great, says Cursey Boo. And exactly, I mean, so many things at the playgrounds, so many fun things that you do at the playgrounds, like playing on a swing or swinging on a rope, and just kicking a soccer ball or something. And now with video games, essentially, I mean, many games that are very active and have a lot of movement there, essentially play like something that you would like to play as a kid on a playground, like swinging on vines or on ropes. That's something. I mean, all those grappling hook mechanics essentially just amp this up to 100, but essentially it's the things that we had fun with as kids on the playground. So it's always nice to still stay in touch with your own personal memories of play. Ah, my God, am I crying? No, I'm just get dry eyes. Okay, completely utterly lost where we were going. Right, I recall now. So I need this gauge. I just called it Goldie, or this level cap. I mean, if I want to call it level cap, but since many players already have a completely different idea of what a level cap is, it might be more misleading than to newcomers. So let's call it gold limit. Goldie. Goldie. I mean, I really like the pun on Goldie. What the heck? Let's just go with Goldie. So the question is how to implement this. Apparently, because it's related to the game, it should be somewhere in the game control. And I also want it to be some sort of bar that really shows you, okay, you need to collect this much gold to be able to finish the level. Yeah, so maybe I will put it as a health bar. Okay, so yeah, let's put it here, treasure hidden. Gold level goal. And then, of course, I need to have a different string here, but for now I just keep it as it is right now, and you will probably can remind me in 15 minutes or so when we're hidden here, where I say, why is it displaying the wrong number? Because I didn't change this thing yet, because it's not initialized. Okay, so I just call it here. I just say the level goal board, no level gold goal, oh my god, is, let's say 200. Let's see if this is realistic, and we'll get red from control port. Of course, yeah, this does not make sense here. I need to put this there as well. And level gold clear. Okay, that worked. Yeah, gold goal, gold clear board. Yeah, let's call it level goal. Level goal. No, it's level goal. You know what? I will stay with level gold goal. Now it's goal. My god. Some people need others that just talk random numbers when they are counting. Other people are easily distracted by other people in the other room. Other people don't get distracted by anything at all. Others by songs with lyrics. I get distracted by my own thoughts. So yeah, there's something for it. So level gold goal. And I will stand by this, and when I say I stand by this, the chances are it's very likely that I change it in half an hour. level gold gold. Yeah, it's like Bob blah blah law blog. I've watched too much Arrested Development. Level gold goal. Right. So when you, I mean, this shouldn't happen in the tile, but again, since we are in a prototype, I can do this global game treasure. I mean, this is treasure. I mean, we currently gold goal. I mean, yeah, don't need to put this there because I already added the treasure, and the gold goal is being managed by the game, so I don't need to put this anywhere else. When we're game state in game, and okay, then we need to check once the game is over whether the player has collected enough gold. Right. When we're in game, then we need to check. So I can just say if treasure, or you know what, I want to display this as some sort of gauge, right? And I can do this by displaying a health bar. At least this is what Game Maker calls it. And the problem with the health bar is that it's normalized between 1 and 100. So I need to do I need to change my I need to come up with an algorithm that does it. Once you've made a bar, is it level game gold gauge? Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm always a fan of big, long telling variable names, as you can see here, global board tiles width and so on, because yeah, for me, I've never had the problem of not understanding what a long variable does. But oftentimes with just a short variable, what is it, TD, or is it D, or is it delta T, or where are we? So this is why I'm not that good with mathematics. I mean, programmers use telling variable names are best, long variable names are fine, just descriptive variable names. And mathematicians say 1 letters only, preferably Greek. So yeah, this is why I'm doing these things. Right. Okay. So at this point, let's just draw this, right? Let's just draw this, and the GUI position, yeah, I have here depending on where in the GUI we are, and then we draw something there. If instance exists, board. Okay, and now I draw just a health bar somewhere. And yeah, this again, it's what game maker terms. If you have a bar that you can fill up with a certain amount, it's called a health bar. And let me quickly pull up the documentation on this. There we go. So yeah, the health bar at 100. So it's between 0 and 100. So this is why you want to again clamp it or normalize it between this value by current value times the maximum divided by the maximum value. So Molten Mustache is here, and then you work with programmers who use 1-letter variable names. Exactly, and they would use Greek letter names, but I've seen it sometimes work with emojis because UTF-8 is supported, so then sometimes I'm not quite sure if it was serious, but I've seen tweets where they argued for using emoji as a variable name. So yeah, I'm one of those, says Lady Miss Leaf, but only for loops. Yeah, in loops, I think it makes sense, or when something is happening very close to where you need it, because with a loop, you don't want to specify every time index or array index position. You just want to say I, because you need it so often. So yeah, again, those are the different kinds of health bars, and you can have a maximum color and a minus or a negative color and so on. For us, all we need is just where to position it. And so this is one of those variables that I'm going to make, like this one, this I here, where it's just an index. I call this also V for value, because I'm going to use it right away. This is just a normalized health bar value. So it is the treasure. This is not how you spell treasure, so you know what, I will just copy it over what I have there. So the current treasure, that's treasure init, treasure, there we go. So draw GUI. So, but for this, I just calculate at each frame where we currently are with the treasure. So the treasure divided by the goal. The level gold goal, Bob blah blah, law blog, times 100. And yes, I think this is the formula, right? Yeah, exactly. Kappa equals 42. Okay, so this, and now we just draw the health bar. And where do I want to draw my health bar? Maybe I should not use, yeah, oh, what the hell? Let's just hardcode this. So let's go with X. But I have already set here some variables for myself. So just center. And just say X from center minus 300. And the Y, let's just really make it on top of everything. Just say 50, or maybe I even have here top. Top is 1 unit from the top. This is nice. I like my things. And then we just say align center plus 200. Let's just say HB width. And now I'm using just not very telling, but it's just 400 times by 2. No, this is the width. It's just 400. And I just say the width center minus width time divided by 2. The same thing here. And the Y, you know what, let's just put it in lines like this. And how large or how big is it? Unit, I just say U divided by 2, because U is a unit that I just use as a unit. Okay, so this is our health bar, and the amount, there we go, is the V, or let's call this amount. The amount is this. The back color is C black. The minimum color is C orange. The maximum color is also sea orange, so there is no interpolation going on. The direction is, what do you want as direction? Okay, it's just 0 means a right anchor, bottom anchor, top anchor. So the direction where it was anchored, 0 is left, 1 is right. Okay, so 0, direction 0, and show back, whether it should display the backdrop, which the background color, which is black, but for now we don't need it actually. Oh, you know what? Let's keep this true. And do we want a border around it? Yeah, let's say also true. So this should draw our health bar. And let's see whether this is working. You're really making me want to get back into Game Makers. That's rather jolly. Haven't made a full game in it since GM7. What was your full game that you made with Game Maker? I'm curious. Okay, look at this. So apparently I've done this here in the first level, but here for this level it was not enough. So you know what? I make the health bar much wider because it's always nice filling up something as these huge bars like with XP in Diablo, where it's always just this little bit, but with every enemy you can see it go up just a few pixels unless you're maxing out your level. So right, what did I want to do there? The unit, because it's a bit too thick. My god, my hair is all I'm shaggy today. Yeah, this is COVID hair. I can almost make a ponytail, so I don't know if I should brag about this. Right, unit divided by 3, and the automated unicorn shuffles into the kitchen for a minute, so hope there's still some coffee for me left. Right, okay, so for the first level, to initialize this, I want to say the carry over HP, the treasure is the treasure in it, and the level gold goal is also, let's say, 10 or something, because that's something that's, you can make it there in the first level. And it is not enough, apparently, because it doesn't go to 10. Why not? Level gold goal. Where's my level creation thing there? Where am I? Board. There is the step. Treasure in it, HP in it, player score. This is when I'm starting the game at once. Level gold goal. It's 10, but why isn't it 10? Okay, now we're already into debugging. It says here level gold goal 3 because, yeah, I didn't excuse me, change it. This is exactly what I thought you had to remind me of, but thankfully at least this time I thought of it myself. Okay, so the level gold goal is 200 here. Why is it 200? Didn't I set this at something different? Or of course, I think I know the problem, because when I refresh everything, yeah, it should look good. Because again, this was just the initial when the board object is first created, the very initial thing there. Okay, so we actually can try this. So we're getting at 200. And one thing that I of course need to add is the other condition, that if there are no more tiles left and there is not enough gold for you left, then you need to replay essentially the level. So okay, I'm going to buy me a clue, maybe here. 1 2 1 2 3. This is good. I don't need this. Then let's buy some more clues, right? So 1 2 3. This is good. 2 bombs. And you know what? For the bombs that you flagged correctly, you also get at the end points or score or gold for that matter. So essentially the game flow, I'm thinking now, because the game is managed by a solid state machine. So once the level is over, once you've found all the treasures, the level is not over. The game is just saying, okay, so let's take inventory. You have finished, player. So now let me see how much gold I can award you with, provided all those things are correct. So maybe you don't have, the game really doesn't have to check if the gold goal has been reached until all this tallying up of the score or the gold is completed. Right, this makes sense. Okay, but let's continue with what I have here. So 3 and 1 bomb is among those here. So I would assume this might be the bomb and those are the treasures. Right. So I think this was correct. Would the gold from the correct bomb be what you could take over to the next level? Exactly, yes. And if you don't have anything that you could take over, or at least, I mean, you take over what you have. In this case, the game would make sure that you have at least 200 for the next level. And then you could take it over. And if you land, in this case, at, let's say, by 1 clue, but then of course I get all the points for the correctly flagged bombs, so they might be able to pull you out, so to speak, if you haven't managed to get the cap to the next level. So this was just a random click and it was a bad one. So this is better. This was also treasure. There is 1 bomb and 1 clue, 2 bombs, 1 clue. This was the treasure, this was the bomb, this was the treasure, this is the bomb. Okay, so I think this is doable. So 1 clue. Oh, this was lucky. Of course, I need to buy another one. Oh, that's cool that they can save you. Exactly. I think this is something when you feel like, I don't think that I could make it, but maybe I'm pretty sure that those are the bombs that I can make. Oh, rather jolly. Told something about his game. My game was called Lich. As an intern in the basement of a large game studio, you find a passage to the Necronomicon and become a level 1 Lich. You decide to fight your way to the top, challenging each branch of the game devs, artists, programmer, artists, etc. As you do, you find more pages of the book and can cast different spells, gain minions, etc. My god, this sounds fun. Can you post a link in I mean, provided it's out there somewhere, but I really like the premise that working as an intern made you into a powerful lich for some reason, and then you take out all the grudges that you have on the staff there. My god, this was a bomb. I just clicked it, so this is not a bomb. No, this was the treasure. Good to know. Still 4 HP. So right, let me just buy something. 1 bomb. Okay, this is the bomb. 2 bombs. 1 bomb. So this must be the treasure, this must be the bomb. Then let's exchange 1 gold for clue. In the last stream, I said I wasn't quite sure whether to have this button where you can exchange clues or treasure for clues. And I thought initially to make it automatic. But at this point, I mean, it would be nice if it happens automatic. But I think for new players, you always want to make sure that they know what they are doing, so that each time they have to really click, yes, I want to exchange 50 gold for 1 clue. Otherwise, you might not be looking at how many clues you still have, and you just happily plant clues. And then in the end, it doesn't work out for you anymore. And Rather Jolly said, thanks, not sure if it still exists in the wild. I'll have to dig it up. I mean, this sounds really nice. I would like to give the game a stab. This came out wrong. To have a stab at it, still sounds weird. Sorry. So this was a bomb. Okay, so not click anything that you're not sure of. In case, yeah, I mean, you can always flag it as a bomb. So maybe there might be, yeah, this is a thing. This is 1, 2. This is a bomb, and I still have 1 clue, and there is 1 bomb. There is 1 bomb, and this must be the other bomb, I think. So this must be the tile, and with that I finish the level. Okay, so I like this. For now I can actually disable the score because it doesn't do anything for us. But what I want to do now is, now that the level is over, that the game essentially just gives you points for every correct flag that you set. And again, I want to make this super clear to the player. It doesn't have to be in the prototype, but for example, I wanted that it doesn't happen like like it's happening now with this, just where it's just one pop-up that tells you, here, have 3 HP. And instead, I wanted that the game essentially just really shows you, okay, this is, you flag this, let's turn it over. Okay, it is a bomb. I give you a green tick mark and some points. And yeah, you said this is a bomb. Okay, it's not a bomb, it's an X. You know what? You don't get points for this. Or I subtract points even. So again, yeah, I'm not quite sure that it needs to be in the prototype, but as I've learned, I want to make things that are super transparent to the players, just without words, just by little animation. Rith said, just thought of a cheese that might be used where you arc everything as bombs and hope that gets you to the next level. Cheese, you mean cheat, right? I mean, maybe. But then again, I mean, you need to open up at least all the treasures, and only then you can advance to the next level. Or do you? Can you say, yeah, I got enough gold, I'm not testing my luck, I want to advance to the next level? No, I don't think that this would be fun, because at least the fun that I have with Minesweeper is clearing every board. Essentially like this, there is a lot of hidden information, and I was clever and uncovered it. So I think it might be more fun that way. Okay, so what I want to do now is add a new state to my game. So once you've done with the level and you didn't run out of HP or something, then it would do this little animation, or just in this case, just put a tick box there where the flag was correct, and or an X where it was incorrect. So let's do this. If I can find my Photoshop there somewhere. Okay, so right, and for this I also need just some more graphics. Just call this flag again, because this gets multiplied with black. The B is gone, but it doesn't. I don't need it anyway. Or you know what I could do in this case? I could just use this as a layer. As a layer mask, and invert it, and now it would be transparent, and I think I will save it, otherwise I forget. PNG, and this was flagged, right? Yes. And Automatic Unicorn said, hi Ilde Lara. So again, I'm sorry for that the unicorn is just calling out everyone. So welcome to the chat. I'm just doing a little design there of the tiles. Just adding some more sprites. Right, so this was the flag. Then I need, yes, this was flagged correctly. So I just give it a tick box. Mark, what is it? Yeah, let's do another emoji. So let's just say tick, check mark. Okay, so it was called check mark and not tick mark. Right, but I need the different font for this. This was emoji 1 color. There we go. And where is my tick box? Tick font there. Not Myriad Pro. I said I want this to be emoji 1. Okay, good. For some reason, Photoshop is super sluggish today, but it's okay. So, yeah, so this is when you've had it correct. I will just, usually, I mean, I could just save the tick mark as a sprite and then draw it on top, but for now, I will just change it there. Flagged, not as TIFF, no, BMP, the TNG, there we go, flagged, correct. And let's find an X or something. X, yes. Good, but again, emoji. Why don't you like my emoji font? Okay, so this is emoji regular and emoji color regular. So yeah, I just stick with regular. I mean, the colors don't carry across anyway. So yeah. Let's just use this as our beautiful work on sprites. Flag correct, flag incorrect. Good, okay, so this is going to be now quite some coding. that we want to do. So yeah, let's do this. So I add these new sprites, these sub images to the sprite. So first I will exchange this one here, and I just say image, add image, or yeah, add from import. The only thing that is important on the import now is to keep the correct flagged. I overwrote the flagged one with the bomb one. Yeah, never mind. Probably don't need it anyway. So okay, so correct and incorrect and flagged, of course, those I need. So this goes here, this can go, and this is correct and incorrect. Okay, so this is sub image 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 or 5 are the sub images that will be changed at the end of the level. So I need to say this also here, where we are here in the tile, and here I have image flag correct is 4 and image flag incorrect, because that way when I change something, when I change the order, I only have to reflect it here in this create event of the tile, and then everything works out just fine. At least that's the plan. Okay, so flag correct and incorrect, and all it does when I want to say it, please change this auto update clue. Then for each tile, I'm just thinking now how this tile instance will get the message that, hey, it should display a different tile. So right now I think all it needs to do is sprite image, draw base tiles. So resource, if tile is resource. Again, a resource is either an empty tile, a bomb tile, or a treasure tile, so not a clue tile. This is of type resource. So if switch flag state, so if it's flagged, if it's open, then but it's not open, and then we say just say if show whether the player has flagged correctly. reveal occupant, or check flag against occupant. I'm calling this occupant, whether it's a bomb or a treasure, as you can see here. Yeah, again, I'm looking for the best way, or the best tag, the best label. If reveal occupants, let's just call it like this. If is open, so if reveal occupants, or do reveal occupants. This is something for me that this means that it's going to be a flag, and so here you can see do init, do update clue, and so on and so forth. So says do reveal occupants is false, and if it is true, then it will then of course it needs to know if it was flagged correctly or incorrectly. Flag correct equals false, otherwise true. So if do reveal occupants, if flagged correct, why don't I have this here? Flag correct, or flagged correctly. I think this is more telling. If flagged correctly, then draw case, draw that color, draw text. This is for the text. If it's a clue, then we draw the string, but just the text. So instead, all I want to do is draw this sprite on top. Do I? Yes, but then I only need the X and the tick. Yeah, sorry, I was just again overthinking things. So if it's correctly, then we draw the sprite, but the image is flag correct. The sub image, add the given alpha and color. Otherwise, else we draw the incorrect flag, incorrect. And again, yeah, I will just keep this thing here. Also don't need this hover effect there. So it's just this X. This saves me a lot of space there on the sprites. So this was incorrect. And the check mark, maybe it's a bit too large, I think. Make it a bit smaller. Alrighty, I think it's time for my nappy nap time, says Lady Mistleaf. And I thank you so much for sticking with me on your Sunday evening. And yes, I hope you have a great day tomorrow and a great week. And again, thank you for watching this long and having me talk out of some browser tab that you can't find. So flagged correctly. Good. Good luck with the game. Yeah, thank you so much. Flag incorrect. Right, I need to change now here the correct and incorrect. Delete selected frames, correct and incorrect. Yes, those are good. Edit image. I'm almost getting the hang of it. Correctly and incorrectly. This was correct, right? So good, okay. So how do we know if it's correct or incorrect? Well, this we have the board to decide or to figure out essentially. So again, like I said, I need here in the game a new state that's between after finishing something, finishing the level and essentially moving on. So this happens in objects and control games. So here I have all the game states where I have some states that, as you can see there, they have this appended once, which is usually for me is a very cheap and easy way to make something happen only once, because the first time it will, for example, it will go from the in-game once. This will happen just once, and then it will loop in the state of in-game, or will always continuously check or remain in the state of in-game unless a certain condition is made. If you failed it, well, then fail once only runs once, and the next step it sticks in fail, and so on and so forth. So in this case I will just say in-game once, and I say level complete once and level complete. And because this is an enum, I don't have to worry about any kind of ugly string comparisons and so on. But of course I need to do this here in my huge game state table or switch statement. I make this a bit smaller now that it fits on the screen like this, that I still have this status line here that tells me how to, for example, just some help on the functions that I might be using. So here we have start once, then we have start in-game loop, if in-game once, so this is just to set up the level. Then we are in-game, and if global treasure count is 0, so if there aren't any hidden treasures left, the game state is win once. But now we don't want it to go to win once or fail once. Instead, we want to insert here something else, and this is case game state level complete once, and I just say break, and at the end I already switched the state, and I say state equals game state level complete, and case game state level complete break. Always close your brackets before doing anything with it. So, and there, when the level is complete and this telling up has been done, only then we know whether the level was won or failed. So it's not win once. Here we go to the state of game state level complete once, and there is checking tiles for flags and awarding score, and maybe waiting for the player to click or something just to continue. Okay, good, but fail state once. completely. Oh my god. Completely. Beautiful. Level complete. And of course, this happens also in the definition, I'm quite sure. Completely. Beautiful. My god, those pixels, I need to zoom out. Cool, right. Level complete. So how do we do this? Yeah, I just iterate through all the tiles in the game and then just hover score over it. So you know what, I will say here in the game control that we need of course some score for score bomb flagged correctly. Let's say 50 or yeah 12, let's say 12. Then we say score bomb flagged incorrectly, let's say -12 or -20 or something weird like that. And then you know what, we can even say score unused clue. So if you buy a clue for 2 bombs, the exchange rate was there 50. But I don't want that. You could easily just buy up scores or treasure for clues and it would remain the same. So for each unused clue, you get a little bit back, let's say just 30. You get 30 back for clues that you didn't use up. So this incentivizes players to stick with the clues or yeah, to just only exchange gold for clues when they really need it. Right. Okay, so we got score flag correctly, incorrectly, and unused clue, which this is just to do implement. Beautiful. Okay, so in terms of drawing here in the steps. So, okay, we iterate through the entire board. And where can I do this? Points per tile. If tile is not open. So there we just iterate through the board. I just copy the beginning there of the loop. So when the level is complete, we iterate through the board. And if tile occupant is either tile or occupant type, or well, if the occupant is of type bomb, good. Well, no, first we look at if tile is open, is locked, is open. So if the tile is not open and the tile is of type bomb, only then it makes sense to look at if it has been flagged. Well, if tile is not open, let's start here. If the tile is not open and the tile is an occupant bomb. No, this makes sense. Okay, so if the tile is open, no, it is not. Sorry for this dithering here. I'm just wondering if I need to nest my if statements, and I think I shall. So end of if is not, end of if tile is not opened. Okay. So if the tile is home to a bomb, right? Then we check if tile is flagged. And if it is flagged, then we award the player points or treasure. In this case, treasure plus equals, what did I call it? Score bomb flagged correctly. Right, and then of course we need to tell the tile, okay, tile flagged correctly, right? Flagged correctly equals true. And maybe we want even to have this floating score on top of the tile as well. So I just do it as before and I say var fs floating score equals instance create depth at the tile x and tile y, at the depth is, yeah, again -10, and what we want is object score float. So say SF for score float. There we say score float value is of course the score of bomb flagged correctly, or just say var score. Yeah, score is a built-in variable, so just say underscore score equals bombs flagged correctly, because maybe I want to add a multiplier once or not, so this is why I'm just using this one, that I could easily change it without having to change the rest. But again, it's just a prototype anyway. So we make this as a little thingy that floats over it. So this is good, and I think this makes sense. Yes. But if not, if it is not flagged, or if it is flagged and it is not of type bomb, the other way around. Okay, so there we go. So if it is flagged and it is of tile occupant bomb, then you get some score. Else flagged incorrectly. So if is flagged and of if tile was flagged. So then of course we say the score yes, I just want to see if I could make this even simpler. So the score is the score flagged. Yeah, just needs like this here. So score is of flagged correctly, and if it's incorrectly, of course, we get the flagged incorrectly. But what we always do is we add this score, whatever it may be, whether it be positive or negative, we will add it to the score. So treasure equals score. Then the only difference is that here it was flagged incorrectly is false. It is false by default, but yeah, just to make sure, false, that this stays correct. Delete this, so score and tile. So and then we create, no matter what we do, we create this floating score. It will either be positive or negative. So yeah. And Aten is here. Hello. And you know what? If it's negative, then we could change the color of it. Maybe do we want this? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense there to change the color. No, you know what? I will. If it's minus, then I will just keep it as minus. So I think this should be it. So then it is level complete. But we still don't know if the level was 1, because if not, then here in the game state we will see, or we will check. So if treasure is less than level treasure goal, or gold, did I call it goal, then the player has failed. So the game state is game state fail once. Else, well, the player has won apparently. So we switch over the game state to win once. And I think this should be it. I mean, it at least should tell you why you're gaming over, but game over, and then it's the room restart. Okay, so in theory, I'm quite sure I've forgotten something, but in theory, this should work. Let me just see if I keep the player's gold from one round to the next, but I think I do. Because when you say in-game once, this means just when it starts off, then game state in-game. So when the game starts, we're running here game start once. And it goes to the correct room and sets everything up. And when it starts, the treasure is treasure in it, and so on and so forth. Right. But when you're in game once, this means this runs the first time that a level gets created. So if it already exists as a game board, it destroys the game board, it destroys everything. Then we switch on which level are we currently in. The treasure is treasure in it. And this is bad. We only want the treasure initially to the first time. So, and when the first time is treasure, I think there in the game start, I already said it, treasure is treasure in it. Yes. So essentially, yeah, the player should be able to keep the treasure from one level to the next. Okay, so let's give this a try and see whether this actually runs. So I'm just going to set here some flags. Not quite sure if they are correct. I'll just flag everything and then just see. Okay, this was good. And okay, good. Very bad, but good. So local variable, built-in variable not set before reading it. Board tiles. Yeah, of course. This makes sense. And this is when you copy paste your loop code. You should make sure that it's actually reading the correct thing. So here I just said array length board tiles. And the board tiles, yeah, those are not part of this object. I need to access them through a global variable. Global board, or do I have board tiles? Well, let me check what this even is. Board tiles. Yeah, of course, this value doesn't exist because the array with the board tiles is not part of this object. But I copied from here, so yeah, this is what I did wrong here. Because I need first to store this in this local variable here. And then it should work. In theory. Right, where's this is my game. Yeah, I don't need this here any longer. Okay, so let's try. So I got 3, yeah. 1, 2, yeah, just say everything is a bomb, just to be sure. Yeah, no, those are just 2 tiles. Yeah, this doesn't work more for this level. Game over, yeah, anyway. So we are here in this new level. Then let me try this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is good. 2 bombs here, so I'm just flagging them all. Then I will see whether some of them are flagged correctly and some are incorrectly. And Ice Wizards is here. Welcome, thank you so much. So there is still 1 treasure and there are 3 treasures. And already made here the level goal. But I still got some clue tiles left, so I can purchase there 1. So those are all bombs. Those are bombs. This is super helpful. Is this a bomb? This is a treasure. There are 1, 2 bombs. Maybe this one? Not quite sure. Okay, so this was a treasure. It is also 1 bomb. 2 bombs. Just 2 bombs. Okay, so there is 1 bomb. There was the other bomb. Okay, so let's just buy some more clues for us then. Okay, this is good. This was the bomb. Right, 1 treasure, good. More clues. 1 treasure, good. More clues. Okay, 3 bombs. 1, 2, 3. So those pretty certain to be bombs. 3 bombs, so 1 is that. Yeah, I need more clues. I need more clues. 2 bombs, 2 treasures doesn't help me. More clues. 3 treasure. This must be 1, and this the other. No, this was a bomb. Then this must be the treasure. So 2 treasure, 2 bombs. This is bomb. 1 treasure, 1 bomb. Treasure, good. Okay, still get 1 clue, still got 264 gold. Okay, so let's see if this is possible. So 2, 1, 2, and yeah, okay, cool. So you notice that the numbers here for my flagging are correct. Apparently those weren't bombs, but those were. So I got minus for this one and pluses for the others. Always 12, but you see, of course, 13, this was the last one that I clicked. But you can see nothing is really updating there. The problem is, since the game just made this pop up, everything else in execution stopped. And this is why you don't see there a tick box if it's correct or an X if it's incorrect. Because now the level will just restart. So yeah. Thank you, Automated Unicorn, for happily chuckling to yourself. Okay, so essentially the game is working, but I need to have this maybe this counter at the end before. So it's just 1 or 2 seconds where you can see the entire game board and see essentially whether you flagged something correctly or incorrectly. And I will do this now because we can do this there in the again, this is a state machine. So here win once. What we want to do is here once the level complete once, and once we know the level is complete, we switch over to level complete next. And I think maybe here in this level complete we need to have some sort of a timer that it just ticks down for 1 second. So I just introduce here, let's call this level finish timer and level finish timer init, and init is just 2 seconds 2 times room speed. And the finish timer itself is of course at the initial value, because we will need this now. So to make sure, I make sure that the finish level timer is at the initial timer at this position. And Rith says, I'm heading off, but the new stuff on the prototype looks great. Yeah, thank you so much for sticking with me, Rith. I don't think I will stream much longer. I just want to get this finished. So yeah, thank you for watching, and have a great week, and cheers. Cool. So for this timer thing here, I just essentially I just have it block pretty much anything, any execution of this treasure thing here until the timer has run out. You too, and cheers. Yeah, thank you. And for this, I just say if, and then I make a pre-decrement if level finish timer is less or equal to 0. This is not less or equal to 0. This is less or equal to 0. Only then this code block gets executed. And until then, it just is more or less just idles around in this block. And this level finish timer, each time this part of the code is run, essentially, I just decrement this by 1, this variable by 1, and then it gets checked. Okay, so if is this value less or equal to 1, and here we just set it to the initial value, which is 120. So this runs through 120 until this one here is 0, and then it just becomes less than 0. But at this point we're already checking to see if the level has been won or not. So let's just start this game properly, and let's 1 2 3 4 5, and let's just have fun here. So this is empty. I don't want to open this. This is the bomb, but there are, yeah, good. Okay, so 2 bombs. Those are 2 bombs for sure. And I'm just going to flag here some where I'm quite sure that some aren't bombs and some are. But yeah, probably I shouldn't do this because maybe there are, I need, yeah, 1 2 3. I need to find, of course, all the treasure first. But there are 4 bombs and 1 treasure, so 3 bombs and 1 treasure. So this might be a bomb, and yeah, this was the bomb, so this is the treasure, and those 3 are bombs. Pretty sure. Okay, this is the bomb, and this is a treasure. And this is a treasure 2, and this is a treasure 2, and there are 2 bombs, and this must be a bomb. So this was a treasure. Good, so now let's buy us some time. Again, 2 treasures. So I want, you know, this down here, I know that this is, I just hit space, so yeah, let's start again from the beginning. So 2 1, this is 1, and there is another 1. Okay, so this is, I'm pretty sure that this is not a bomb, but I will flag it anyway just to make sure if the algorithm in the end is working correctly. So there is 1 treasure there, and this is also incorrect, but yeah, I know it at least. 1 2 3 4. 1 treasure, 3 bombs, 3 treasure, 1 treasure. So it's either this one or that one. Okay, so there is 1 bomb. Yeah, I found the bomb. 1 bomb, 3 bombs. This I'm quite sure. There is 1 treasure, so I'm not going to risk it really. 4 bombs, 3 bombs, 2 treasure among those 3. This is good. Then those must be the bombs. No, this was bad. This was good. Okay, and now I've eaten up most of the treasure that I need to finish the levels. So all the automated unicorn just pooped the rainbow. This is nice, unicorn. Always as helpful as ever. So yeah, now I'm just trying to push my luck that I have enough gold. But again, oh yeah, this was the bomb. Okay. Right, I need more clues. 1, 2, 3, 4. This was good, so it allowed me to stay above the threshold. But now I'm below the threshold, so this should be interesting. So this must be the treasure, and then yes, good. But the one thing that I didn't notice is that it changed the sprites here at all. And you know why? Because this is something that I've forgotten to set, because the game or the tile doesn't know that the game is essentially the level is complete. So I need to indicate this because I've here this one if checkment that says do reveal occupants, and this I did not set, and this was the problem. So if level is complete, then yeah, then we say just do reveal occupants on the tile. If it's not open, if it's flagged, do reveal occupants. Whether it's correct or not, it just should show us whether the play was right or not. True. Good, okay, so let's give this another try then. And hope that this game is fun. Okay, this is good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is also helpful. And 1, 2, 3, and one of them is not a bomb. And yeah, it was the other one. So those are all bombs. Good to know. 3, 1, 2. Yes, is a bomb? Is this a no? This is the bomb for sure. 3, 1, 2, 4 bombs. Okay, how about this? 2 bombs, and there are 4. So 1, 2. Those are I'm pretty sure. And this is empty. Good. So there are just more bombs hiding. So I just okay. So this should be easy. 4 bombs, and this is the treasure. There are 2 treasures there as well. Yeah, I need more clues. Just spending some money on my clues. 1. Okay, so then it's that one, of course. And okay, so either one of those is a bomb. So I will have one that is incorrect here. So I hope so. Yeah, but 2 of them will be incorrect in this case. So 2 bombs. And there's just 1 bomb, and it's this one, so there is just still 1 bomb and 2 treasures hidden there, and 2 bombs and 1 treasure. So this might be the treasure, and this must be the bombs then. So and there's essentially a 50-50 chance. So no, this was the bomb. Okay, so let's brace ourselves and see if everything is correct. Apparently there is still 1 treasure hidden. There is still 1 treasure hidden that I didn't catch, but where could it be hidden? Probably among these here. So this is a bomb for sure. This is one for sure, so this must be the treasure. Good, okay, look at this. Those got tick marks, those worked, and those that didn't work cost me money. So apparently this was good, and this is also how the game should be played. So what would actually help would be if those things here were green, or would this be too cluttered? Probably, maybe. I will give it a try. I will give it a try. Now where's my Photoshop? There it is. So let's make this thing green here. Color overlay. Come on, Photoshop, you can do this. Where is my overlay? There it is. And I just say normal and of a healthy, lush green. Good. PNG and flagged correct. And this X, I will move inwards a bit more. And yeah, I can just save this as is. PNG, incorrect, correct. This was incorrect, right? Good. Okay, back to GameMaker. This was the object, not the sprite. This is the sprite. And then I will just change those two. So it was correct and incorrect. So edit image, add from file. It was correct and incorrect. Yes and yes. And this for the sprite drawing, I only need to do this here correctly. So the alpha is 1 and is 1 here, and the color is C white. Otherwise it gets multiplied with another color. In this case, I really want it to stay white. That it's not being tinted with another color, essentially. Okay, so I will try now the level once more. And yeah, here we got a 50-50 chance, so one will be wrong. And yeah, now I really need my clues. This is a bomb. This is a bomb. So this is a treasure. 1 versus 1, so there must be either one of this must be the bomb. And yeah, this was bad. So many bombs here, really. So it's, I hope I can, oh 6, this is helpful. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I think I can make it this level now. 2 bombs. 1 bomb. So this was 1 bomb. 3 bombs. This must be probably 1. This is a treasure. This is good. So there we have 1 bombs among them. So my guess is that either this is a bomb, so this must be all treasure. So then this is the bomb here. Good. This is treasure. Good. Okay, so this is working. 3 treasure. Good. 1 bomb. And this is the bomb. And this is treasure. And this is no bomb, but I will flag it anyway. And this is treasure because I tried it. Yeah, this was the bomb, right? Not this. Okay, 3 bombs, and I only know of 1. Maybe this is another one? Yes, this is another one. So I know of 2 bombs. 3 bombs, 1 treasure. So this might be the treasure. Yes, then that's all the bombs. This was treasure. This is good. So apparently it's quite possible to make this level then. I would think so. 3 treasure. This is good. And because I got so much HP left, I can just gamble. Okay, so look at this. This is much more telling now that everything has here this plus and minus sign. And you know what? Again, maybe points for unopened tiles. Yeah, points for unopened tiles. How do I have this? Score. Or tile, neighbor tiles. I'm just trying to find where oh, of course, I'm in the wrong object. I'm in the tile object. I need to go to the game where I put all the scores. Rules, score, unset, score, unopened. So for unopened, you get, let's make this 4, because why not? It's better than nothing. Let's make this 6. because on lucky number 7, and let's give players even unopened things here. Score for unopened things. So where do we put this? So if is not open and if it is not flagged, and if it is flagged and if it's not flagged, else, or wait, it is flagged. Right, it's not open, but it is flagged. So end of if tile was flagged. You also want to get score for unflagged. So else if occupant type is not bomb, if occupant is not bomb, then I just give the player also some score for that one. So just say score, and the score is score unopened. And you know what? I can move this down as well. Good. Good. Okay, I will try this once more. And then I think I will call it a night, because it's now 10 past 4 in the morning and we got occupant game control. Of course, it's the tile's occupant, not the occupant of the game object. Good. So this looks like a fun level. This is a bomb. These are all bombs. This is the thing. This is a bomb. This must be a treasure then. 2 bombs, 1 treasure. Okay, so 2 bombs also here. So this must be that. Apparently not. Oh my god, this was not too good. So I'm getting tired because I'm not really thinking things through. But at least I can afford some clues now. Okay. Either one, this was bad. 2 bombs, still 2 bombs hidden and nothing else. So I will flag now here them all again to have knowingly something that is incorrect. So this one stays closed. Good, okay. So how about this? 2 bombs, treasure. Okay, so I've plastered over the treasure. Good. Then I just get here points when I don't have something flagged. I just want to try out what happens here with the question mark. So okay, the 2 bombs. So this must be a treasure. This is a bomb. It's a treasure. Okay, good. Some more clues. So there, this is a bomb. 1, 2 bombs, treasure, bomb, and there must be the last treasure. And let's see what's happening when I finish the level. Okay, so I should get points, a lot of points for correctly flagged bombs. I should lose some points for incorrectly flagged bombs, and I should get 7 points for unopened tiles. So also for this one. So not for this one, for that one that I flagged. This one here, but is unopened. So this question mark here and this block should get points. Okay, are you ready? Good. Okay. This was bad. Line 115, treasure underscore score. Sorry for all the excitement. So game step line 155. Of course we have to fix this now. 155 treasure is equal to score, but why don't I see it? Why is treasure built-in variable? I don't get it. We're here in game, so it's clearly. So okay, what was the error message again? Treasure plus equals local variable, built-in variable, not set before reading it. But why? Before it worked before. Why didn't now? Oh, of course, I declared score in here. I need to declare score on the outside where it has a greater scope. Oh my god, scoping. But at least it is not so bad here in Game Maker, where essentially it's a free-for-all. Everyone can write or read into everyone else's variables. So yeah. Oh, Cursibu said, game is progressing well. Thank you so much. Yeah, actually, I'm looking forward to it hopefully being a fun game one day. Okay, so this I keep empty because I know it is empty, but I put a question mark on top of it. Right, there is one bomb, one treasure, one bomb. This is the treasure, this is the bomb. 2 treasure, 50-50. Okay, either one of them must be the bomb, but I'm going to flag them. Okay, there was another bomb. This was not good. Okay, so one bomb. Is this the bomb or is this? Okay, so this was the wrong positive that I flagged. Good, but still got 5 HP. So we should make this. We should make this. So 3, 1, 2, 3. This is just testing my luck here. Okay, so yeah. Just we'll leave them alone. Oh, this is helpful. 1 or 1. So this must be 1 and this must definitely be another one. So I leave it alone. Yes, but those I keep. Good, so this is a treasure. And which is which? Okay, so good. Beautiful, and the level was done. And I got some points for it. I just realized it would be nice if for me as a player to know exactly where I went right. That it would go from just in one line, from one line tap to the next, and would just where I as a player can follow along where something is happening. I don't know how to do that right now. I mean, I got some ideas, but let's say I don't know of a simple way to do this or an easy way. I mean, I'm always shying away from introducing numbers for different alarms, as they're called, or timers. So I wanted that each object itself knows when its turn it is to be highlighted or something, or yeah, just to get revealed whether it's correctly or not. But I don't think I will do this for now because I've been streaming for 3 hours and 50 minutes already, and it is getting kind of late. It's 4:15 in the morning here. And I think I will try to wind down a little bit. With programming, I always have to wind down for an hour or two doing something completely different, because you probably know this. You go to bed, you take a shower, and everything is just, well, not that, not in that succession, but your mind is still occupied with all the programming stuff that you have. Instant replay, says Cursibu. I have no idea what you mean in terms of where those things are, or should the level again be played as, this is interesting, that I just record which tiles I clicked in what order and then just play it back. I don't know why I could use this, but maybe this would be nice. I like this idea, Kersey. Thank you. But yeah, in terms of looking at all the tiles, how to do this, probably I couldn't do this then there in this level complete once, in this thing that happens only once, but I would probably need to stick it there in this level complete and essentially just say, yeah, you can dwell for 60 frames per one tile that you need something to do with, and skip the others. So yeah, I think this I could do. So I just put this here, to do, not thoughtful, to do. Display tile result one after the other. Cool. And I think with that I will leave it for today. I will save it, of course, because this is important. And again, let's quickly review what I managed to get done today. Okay, for one thing, I changed how the game is doing score. Right now the score is not important anymore. I switched over from treasure to gold. So instead of 1 T would give you 1 gold, you would get an arbitrary amount between minus the minimum and the largest amount. It essentially it's just a random number. Then of course the flagging is now that you can't accidentally click a flag with the left mouse button, only with the right mouse button. And yeah, you get points. In this case gold, and what we also have is this bar that needs to be full in order to complete the level successfully. So you know what I want to try now is to run out of or have below the bar gold and then see if it's possible for all the correctly flagged bombs to carry me to the next level. So there's 1, 2, okay, this was empty. And this must be treasure then. This was a bomb. So I'm just very liberally. This is treasure. This one is a bomb, but it's probably this. Then, yeah, this was a treasure. This was bad. 1 bomb, 2 treasure. So these are the treasure. 2 bombs, 1 treasure. Good. I think I'm getting the hang of my own game now. This is good. So 1 bomb, 2 treasure. This must be the treasure then. 2 treasure, 2 pancake. Okay, so I'm just spending now a lot of my gold, and I want to see if I spend it all, if that would still be possible for me, or most of it, to make it. Yes, okay, so this is also good that those things filled up this bar here. You know what, I really wanted to give this a try then, to have this one to pop up one after the other. So I really thinking through how I could do this. So score, win once, failed state, scoring. The T-score is now, oh, of course I'm doing even more scoring here, but I don't need this kind of score anymore because, yeah, this is Portals, global unopened score. Yeah, again, I'm distributing here scores again, where I don't need to unopened score. So for each tile that is not open, and you give the player score, but now this is all handled with treasure. So level clear have 0 HP, and then we just increment the level. Okay, good. So this can all go because it is part of a system that I don't use anymore. That is the score system. So draw GUI, and I can just comment this line out because score is not important anymore. Maybe I just say also not treasure hidden, but also bombs hidden. Bombs hidden. Global board bomb count. Does this exist? Bomb count. Yes, it does. It does. And maybe I want to change the color of the bombs hidden. Treasured. Clue tiles. Yeah, the front of the bomb tiles. There we go. So the bomb tiles are color blue, and yeah, good. Let me just quickly check. This was just for the UI. It says here bombs hidden 1, clue tiles 5, levels cleared. So okay, so this is good. Gold level goal, treasures hidden. Right, so maybe I will even change this here, that the treasures hidden are under the gold level goal. Like so. I can take out this line here because this pertains to a different color. Good. Okay, just making things prettier, relatively speaking. Okay, cool. So with that thing done, I think yeah, I will try to see again. I will save this project because I'm getting tired and I have a feeling that I might break things now. Hex game version 09, where this scoring per tile thing here shouldn't happen at once. It should happen, like I said, one after the other, where the level is complete and could go through all of your tiles, essentially. So, and for this, I just need to slow down this for loop, essentially, and make it, in a way, asynchronous, but this is not JavaScript. So, my god, my hair. So this might be a bit problematic. Okay, essentially, I just say, I'm just giving a counter, and I will make here a new counter. So we'll get red from control board, level end, and I just call this tile counter. Init is like half a second. Let's say room speed divided by 2 and tile counter. And then of course I need to say level end index is 0, level end index max, or yeah, I don't know, I don't need this, I don't need level end index max. Okay, tile counter is of course tile counter init, because this is just the time that the game will spend on one tile before going to the next. My god, I hope this is working. So complete once. Again, I have to change this here to the level complete. So if the timer is not doing anything, we don't allow anything to pop up. So I will just say, right. Okay, good. So board tiles is the array. And then I also say tile counter equals tile counter init, and level end index, we're starting here at 0. Again, I just copy this over, that we are sure that once we are in this level complete thing, everything has been set up for us. And then I just say, yeah, maybe level end index. No, I don't need level end index. Can just use this one for the length. Okay, so again, like I said, it's just this for statement, but that I need to spend time until I advance this I, and then I will go to the next. So I will just copy this for statement then in its entirety. Oh my god, this feels so bad. Well, not bad, but problematic. Let's put it like this. So I will just move this down so that I at least know that somewhere in this block it's supposed to happen or about to happen. So, and I can't use I here, so I need this level end index. So if level end index is less or equal to, no, less to the array length, because this is our breakout condition essentially, then we do all this essentially. We get a certain board tile, and if it is open, you know what, I want to skip the tiles that don't need to have their score, so only for the tiles that aren't open. No, you know what, let's do this for every tile for now at least. So that I know what I'm doing. Okay, so let me try and run this, because here with my first test level, once this is complete and it runs without an error, then, but it does not. Control game I not set before reading it. Of course not, because I use the level end index. So var I is this one. Now it should work, I hope. What now? local variable, built-in variable not set before reading it. Again, 216 this time. 216, and the score again I declared outside of it, var underscore score. And nothing happens. Oh, okay, good. Nothing happens, but for 2 seconds. This is exactly what this level finish timer is here for. Okay, so if level end index is less than 1, right, and for each tile now, I'm just doing the counter here. So tile counter is tile counter init, and I just decrement tile counter. Did I use an underscore? Tile counter minus minus, and if minus minus tile counter is less or equal to 0, then we reset the variable tile, not file counter, tile counter is equal to, or not equal to, tile counter init. It's an assignment, and level end index gets incremented by 1. 5 viewers still. I don't know why you're following me around, but I really appreciate it. But I think I have something to show, I hope, soon. And if level index is less than board array, and if tile is open, so that this only happens once, and tile counter is equal. Yes, let's try this. Tile is open, and tile counter is equal to tile counter init. So it only runs once. That it only runs once per tile. My God, I really hope that this works. Like I said, I'm tired, and this sounds like a really good solution. And okay, good. We had no problems. But also we couldn't see what was happening. So maybe what I can do is just force the game to go into this level complete state when I hit something. Just for debugging purposes. And I make this here with this key down things. So I will say level state complete once. Then we just switch over and say, yeah, the level was 1. So on key down, what can I still press there? Let's say F1 help, right? So function key is on F1, state equals, or state is game state a level 1 once. Where was it? Level complete. Yeah, I think this level complete once it was, right? Good. Okay, so let's try this. When I hit F1. Okay, good, but not so good. Again, 224. Again, something was not set in line 224. Treasure score. So apparently, again, I need to set this really up here. No, okay, it was built-in variable not set before reading it. Line 225. Yeah, this is this treasure thing here, and this score, or is it treasure the problem? I don't think that treasure is the problem. Because treasure is valid. This score must be the problem. Oh, headpad, thank you so much, Cursey-Boo. Yeah, I'm tired and I'm debugging, but I want to get this fixed so that I can go to sleep in peace. So plus score, and score gets declared twice, actually. So maybe that's the problem. if else score otherwise treasure plus score. Maybe I need to initialize score here with equals to 0. And thanks for feeding the unicorn. Is it getting hungry? Game over. Okay, good. Not so good, but let's say I finished this one. And yes, it almost works. It just skips the first tile. And I say here, where was my game? That maybe faster. Maybe let's say a quarter speed and level end index. Because I'm incrementing the level end index here when the tile counter is less than 0. Level end index plus plus. Otherwise, if level index end index is less than, then I is level end index. So it should be 0. I don't know why it shouldn't. It's not 0. But I hope let's see that this is okay. It's also giving me points for tiles that don't exist essentially. So you know what? I will make this even faster here. Let's say the room speed divided by 20. And again, it shouldn't, if occupant tile equals occupant. And of course we need the tile is open. And if it's a tile that does not exist or a null tile, if tile is open and the counter is the counter in it, so it only happens once. And if the tile is flagged, no, if tile tile type not of tile type null or empty. What did I call it? Clue debug generic null. And okay, so at least it shouldn't give us points for hidden tiles that I just placed at the bottom of the playing field. In this case here, there on every other thing you can notice here on the bottom and on the top row, those look symmetrical. And this only works because I took out every other tile there on the bottom. But if I hit F2 or F1, okay, this looks nice. I like how this goes, but then of course it interferes with this thing here, if level finish at time. So I need to make sure that if level index, and once this is done, else, and only then we make sure that we actually advance to the next level. So I just comment this out because we don't need to wait 2 seconds after the game was finished. So I'll just say, yeah, I would just see if this changes something there when it goes over it. So look at this. Yeah. And then in the end, the level finish timer is just 1 second for us to wait that those things finished. Level end timer, where do I have it? It's just 1 times the room speed, so it's just 1 second. So good. I like that this works. And do I want to change it there? Maybe something. But overall, I think I like how this works. Again, the only problem is here that the first level index, if minus tile counter is less than, but tile counter, is there a tile counter in it? And tile counter in it is greater than that. So level end index plus plus. You know what? I will just debug here the level end index. Show debug message whether it's really starting at 0. So let's have a look here at the console when I hit F1. And yeah, it's better to see if you're here. So it really starts, well, it starts at 0 and then goes up to 1, but why doesn't it display anything there on the first tile that we have? It just skips the first tile. But here with the second, yeah, those get affected. So apparently tile number 0 does not work. But let's check here the last tiles and the first ones. Okay, so this gets affected. And also this one here. This is good, but yeah, not good enough. So maybe I'm just trying here. If I start here at level end index -1, I don't see why it gets incremented to 0, but yeah, maybe that was the problem. So let's try this here. F1 is -1 is out of range. Yeah, who would have thought? Frankly, I'm quite stumped why this one here is 0. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why the 0 one does not get checked. Strange bug. Yeah, thanks. There must be something. There always is something. So let me just play here around and post, or yeah, leave some of those here in and see how fast this goes. Yeah, okay, so it's nice to see how my those incorrect placed bombs also wreak havoc on my gold bar up here. So yeah, points, yes, points, no, it goes back. Sometimes, yeah, you almost could make it. Okay, so I'm still not quite sure why this first one does not get run. Okay, so let me check. Tile type. So I'm picking here the board index of this tile. It's I. And I say here the level in end index. So, but if minus tile counter is less or equal to 0, which it is not at this point. Instead of I, maybe I just really use the level end index as such. I don't know why this should be an issue, but you never know. What? Automated unicorn, what are you doing? So let's try this again. Yeah, it really skips the first one. But down here, it works, I would assume. Yes, down here it works. So really, I don't understand why it does not look at the first tile. So maybe it has to do something with this part of this statement here. You know what? Maybe it will wreak havoc now. What's happening? But at least I will see if the first tile is actually being considered here. Okay, so essentially this helped. So this part and the tile counter is equal to tile counter in it. Apparently I don't need this because I'm only going over this once. Do I? I don't know, but it looks correct. It works, okay. It works. So good. So you know what? I will play one serious round of this game and then really call it a night. I'm getting kind of tired. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2. And there must be a bomb. This was the bomb. Good to know. Clue. 1 bomb, 1 treasure. Just 1 treasure. And it was this one. 1 bomb, 2 treasures. Just 2 treasures. So good. This must be the bomb. And let's buy some clues. Okay, one bomb, one... Yeah, this was the bomb. Should have known this. One treasure, one bomb. 3 bombs, okay. Okay, shouldn't have spent so much money on the clues, but hey, this is the game. So this one bomb, at least this makes it a lot easier now that I just plastered everything with clues. I mean, it cost me, of course, some treasure that was still hidden, but it's okay. This works. So there are 2 bombs there and 1 treasure. So goodness, I was lucky there. 2 bombs and 1 treasure. Again, was lucky here, and this must be empty. So again, 2 bombs. So this must be the treasure. This is a bomb, and 1 treasure, 2 bombs. So those must This must be okay. So this was bomb, and this is a treasure then. Yes. Okay. Good. Okay. So. With my gold of 55, yeah, let's see. Okay, so 2 treasure. Maybe I will be able to make it. Okay, good. This was wrong. This was correct. And yes, I made it. Good, and I got the gold of 400. Oh, did we notice that the gold? Would the gold increase there? Yes. Okay, good. It does. It does. Level clear. Good. Okay, with that, I think I will call it a night. Yeah, I can already see that I'm really getting tired. But yeah, thank you, Cursipu, for sticking with me in this trying time. Yeah, I'm really glad with the progress that I've made so far. So I think what I will look into it next with the game is probably, yeah, maybe some level progression doing there. And yeah, Cursipu says bye. And yeah, with that being said, yeah, probably doing some level progression and yeah, just play the game and see, maybe try bigger playing fields. Who knows at this point. At least something is working as intended. It's compiling. It's anything but pretty, but I'm quite content with the progress that I made, even in just almost 5 hours. No, it's just 4 hours. I started at 1 and not at midnight. Okay, everyone, have a great week. I'm not quite sure whether or if, no, this is the same thing, whether I'm streaming during the week, but if I do, if you live in the US, it's going to be on Thursday, no, on Wednesday evening, and if you're on the other side of the globe, it's probably Thursday noon, early on Thursday. If you're in Middle Central Europe, it's on Thursday, probably around midnight. But yeah, we will see. I will keep you posted anyway. With that being said, again, thank you so much for dropping by, for following this rather dry programming stream, and yeah, and I hope I see you with the next stream. With that being said, cheers.